wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not.
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Steers on the stars with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof, like I always wanted him. I never hated him. I never traded him. And if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's side floor. Wish I could large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as can be. You can watch us on YouTube with video for free. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Oh man. Hello, Leroy.
Man, I don't know what to say. I don't know. Here's the worst part of the whole thing. If you go to the game before, Spo ran the same exact damn play. Right?
Yeah.
With Nico going to the rim.
The back cut, yeah. I mean, it was a little not as athletic, obviously, but yeah.
So if I'm a coach, what am I not gonna get beat on?
Yeah. Well, why do you think he was so frustrated? I'm sure that was told. Like you could, I'm sure that was told to everybody in the huddle. Is like, hey, watch out for Jalen Duren, very athletic, very big. And they lost on that. Like, why do you think he lost his mind like that, prompting him to forget how many timeouts he had, which was 0?
I have never, ever said this, because you know me. I'm always the guy that says, you had other opportunities to win a game. But with 0.7 seconds left, to give the other team a free throw and the ball, you lost the game.
Yeah, you lost the game. And that's, I think, like, I don't know what to do with this because
it is what it is.
It's Spo. Like, it
doesn't matter.
When you know somebody is when you know somebody is one of the best in the league, to have a meltdown like that, to have a blunder like that, and to just see his reaction go from rage because you guys blew it to let's fix this. Oh no, I have no method to fix this. I have no timeouts. I just lost us the game. You see this all sweep over him in the span of about 4 seconds.
This is what I saw. Oh.
I saw it. They messed up. I just messed up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, he goes, how could you, Duren? Nah, timeout. Oh, no.
And he tried to be so slick. You know when you get
when he put his hands down.
Yeah, he tried to go back in and he tried to gets back to the bench.
This is one thing with Spo. Okay. He's very demonstrative with the timeouts. Okay. This has always been a Spo thing.
You can't miss.
He's very demonstrative with the timeouts. Do you remember famously where this happened? In the last time I remember something like this happening, of course, everybody goes to Chris Webber, which it was funny that, of course, Jalen Rose was there courtside and just by the way, looked like he was either in disbelief or haunted by Ghost Pass.
I think it was disbelief. I don't even think it was haunted.
Disbelief that a person of
that ilk, that coach
would
make a mistake like that.
Correct. This man was just like he was baffled by what he had just seen. I mean, he's just like, what?
I think that's the meme of the last meme of 2024.
We just seen we seen a meme come to life, but it's the last time I remember this happening. Do you guys remember? I believe it was it Bulls Cavs or Raptors Cavs? I can't remember, but it was David Blatt tried to do that. He tried to call timeout with no timeouts left. And thankfully, the referee just let him go he's like, he just ignored him. And
I think they were gonna do that.
LeBron ended up hitting a buzzer beater. I think it evened up the series instead of them going down.
You talk about game 4 of the second round between
Yes,
the Bulls
I think it was the Bulls and Cavs, right?
Right. And then
David Blatt is on the sidelines and he's kind of just like going like this, and the referee just kind of looks at him and he's just like, you don't have any of those, and just ignored him. But if he didn't, it would have lost them the game. It would have lost them the game.
Well, at least he did it. He did it from his corner.
Right. But
Whoa!
Spo's out here high stepping to get to the timeout, which is how he calls timeouts. And there was no denying it. Like, what is the ref supposed to do? If it was a little bit more, but he was so enraged that this messed up. And the crazy thing was, like, there was definitely some scatteredness going on because they all thought the ball was going to Cade Cunningham, right? The play-in.
Same thing. They all thought the ball was going to Tyler.
Right. But Cade ended up inbounding. So they were going to send Kel'el out and going to have Bam and Kel'el out on the floor at the same time. But when they saw that Cade wasn't going to be getting the ball, they decided to pull Kel'el back. That's why Terry Rozier stayed out there. And Terry Rozier's like, hey, Malik Beasley's going to screen you, Bam. Oh, no, never mind. Oh, no.
But here's my problem with this, right?
Oh, no.
Once you see it happening, why don't you just grab him?
Isn't it similar to the play that they just beat the Timberwolves with?
That's what
Yes.
I just
The backdoor screen.
That's what Leroy said. Yeah.
So then, if you're gonna why be upset with the play that you just did on? Like, come on, go into overtime.
They probably were like,
my thing is, you should never get beat on the play you just used to beat somebody less than 48 hours ago.
I would guarantee JB Bickerstaff probably in prepping for the game was like, that was a pretty good play. Keep that in their back pocket.
I mean,
I think everything got shook up because they saw Cade inbounding the ball instead of getting the ball, taking the last shot. I think that just confused their.
Somebody said if you read his lips, he goes, "I told you to watch for that."
Yeah, I don't know what exactly. I don't know what Terry Rozier is supposed to do. There. I know
basically what he should have did.
He's supposed to call that out, I guess.
He should have left Kel'el in the game.
He probably should have.
And told Kel'el, look, they're going to go to the rim. Somebody's coming to the rim. I want you to protect the rim. End of discussion.
Probably. But they didn't.
And so whatever kind of motions they have, Kel'el will not get caught up in that motion.
Right. But
and
it was
that's
and so they end up getting Bam caught up. Dude, fucking sorry. Can you dump that? Dump that, Vlad. Oh, apologies. Bam got caught up in my bad. I'm like lost. I'm lost on it too. Jesus.
Oh no, I told you yesterday.
I apologize.
It went straight to Tobin went straight to the tequila. When Tobin goes Tobin tequila,
it was vodka.
Oh, vodka.
It was vodka.
Well, when he goes to the vodka, it's Rap City, baby. It's over.
I apologize to the children. Speaking.
We should be in school.
Spo got completely, Bam got caught up there, and just Spo lost his mind. I don't know,
but no, they didn't. Kel'el, even if they would have had Kel'el in guarding the inbounder, you still would have had some more size in that line instead of just only Bam, and then being chased by, when somebody got free.
I think their mind was like he was going to disrupt, but with a guy like Cade, Cade's pretty big. I don't know, but geez. Here's Spo after the game. Let me do the headline read first. Before I got to avoid the feds. Anyway, headlines are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock with the Tiguan, the Taos, and the Atlas. Remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. Heat. Final score last night, 123-121 in overtime to start off the NBA Cup. Blue court. Anyway, here was
games yesterday, though.
Well, that's the thing that sucks the most about it, right? Like, that was a great game.
Oh,
yeah, it was a great game.
Let me tell you, man. 1-4.
Man.
I mean, he might be the op, but I'm starting to look at him so different.
What a game he had.
Woo.
What a game he had.
That fourth quarter, I hadn't seen something like that in a long time.
You want to talk about taking over a game. And I mean, there's nothing. Here's when you know you're taking over a game. It wasn't a whole bunch of dump it and dribble. It was get him the ball and get out of his way. And he was shooting threes. He was out. It was like
3 threes. I think he had 3 threes in like 45 seconds.
Yeah. And they weren't like, they were no doubters.
clean, just
clean,
like nothing but net. No rattling.
He was
nothing.
incredible. He was incredible. One shy. It was one shy of his career high. It was a tie for Heat records on threes. 6 in the fourth quarter.
just
Insane. But
and as far out as they were, to have the lead, and then with that little bit of time left, I'm like, oh, let's hear what Spo has to say. I'm curious.
He's oh, you haven't heard him yet?
No.
Oh boy, here you go.
Yeah, I mean, they only had 1.8 seconds. We felt like, thought Cade might be in the field. He wasn't in the field. And JB just drew up a great play. We didn't have the backside protected. It was just a really well executed play. And then I just made a serious mental error, there at the end. That's on my, that's on me. I feel horrible about it. There's really no excuse for that. I'm 17 years in. We had talked about it in the huddle. I knew that we didn't have anything. I just got emotional and reactive on that, and I just made a horrendous mistake there at the end. It's a shame, because we really fought back. We had some great defensive possessions, hustle possessions, those 50-50 balls. And then Tyler was just sensational. You don't want it to come down to a mental error like that. You just would have liked to seen this go double overtime. That's the kind of game it felt like. It deserved to go double OT and not have somebody get in the way of that. And unfortunately, even as a veteran coach, I got in the way of that.
Yeesh.
I got to tell you.
It's going to eat him alive.
I got to tell you, though. As things go, he owned it, right? But we all know it was his fault. But let me give you contrast to that. Georgia Tech last year.
Oh yeah, but
you see what I'm saying?
I mean, like this guy, like we've talked. How many guys have talked about? Like this guy is
so we respect. Everybody respects Spo.
Everybody, like he's so respected. He's so great. And Tyler even said it. Like, listen, he won us the last game. He won us the last game with that play.
So,
like,
although I'm annoyed, and it was a terrible way to lose a hard-fought game, he said it perfectly. He said that was a game that felt like double overtime. We fought our asses to get back into it, right? And I blew it. And I got emotional. Yeah. Which is the first thing a coach will tell you as a player.
Yeah. Okay, but here's the thing, right?
Yep.
And I saw Chris Quinn try to tell him, and Chris Quinn, when he realized Chris Quinn did the turnaround, he turned his back to him. He was like, damn it, they got it.
He knows.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he had to know. He
knew. He said he knew.
Staff
there's nothing he's gonna hate more, Vlad, than a defensive missed assignment or whatever. But like, again, also it was a great play, and it's just like he just lost his mind, and that's so. I think he's been ejected from a game once, and that was with like 0.2 left in a double overtime game. This man keeps his cool, like. He just knows the line. We've talked to Ron Rossi about this. This guy knows the line more than anybody. But I don't know. I mean, it was a great game. It was so emotional back and forth, the swings. But dude, I never thought they'd lose a game because of him. Never thought they'd lose a game because of him like that.
But here's why you sympathize with him, because he ate it right away.
Yeah,
he put it on him, and a lot of people won't do that. So even though I'm upset that the Heat lost, I'm upset the way they lost. I ain't perfect. He made a mistake that man has made in 17 years. And in fact, we very rarely come in here after a game and talk about the coaching. Very rarely. So
Slim says, the play there is to have switchy defenders on the floor, not Terry bleeping Rozier. Spo's legitimately idiotic for that. Yeah, and
He-
it felt like he
I
didn't
thought-
want to have
I
him out
thought-
there. Like
I thought
that's
he
what's
shoulda
weird about
had.
it.
I thought he should have had a lot of size out there, simply because it makes those types of passes more difficult. And even if you have somebody with some size with Terry Rozier, they're gonna bang bodies.
He might have also thought the Pistons were going for a 3 for the win.
No, why?
They're at home. They get last possession. That's why you try to get, you have
No,
wing players.
but again, you still have, of all your bigs, one of the things they can do is guard all over the court. So all you put in there is size. If they make a 3 and they shooting over a 6'10" or 7-footer, they win.
Yeah, it's kind of the only move because like who else
That's
are you
right.
got in that spot? He has Pella, Tyler, Haywood, Bam, and then Terry.
So
And so the thought was he was going to put Kel'el out, and he said that he pulled him back when he saw that Cade was inbounding the ball.
So even with that, even if I took Kel'el and put him in front of Cade, that pass may go a little bit higher. And
For Bam to snatch it.
right,
Yeah,
right. Size
he very clearly overthought this.
Size is the only thing that can make that difficult. Because even if they run a perfect pick, if that ball arcs for a little bit more getting over a big, now you got room to catch up. So when Kel'el came out, I thought that Kel'el was going to be in front of Cade.
That's I don't know.
Like
Pulled him back.
And guess what? Let's go to every other basketball team that we watch that runs the inbound pass. They take their tallest guy and put him over the guy taken out.
Yep.
They do. Why? Not because you want to make it as difficult as possible to make a great pass. And Cade's not short.
No.
So the last thing you want is him to have somebody in front of him where he can just look around and throw it to whoever.
No, but you're spot on. He probably thought like this is going to be either right back to him, maybe going Cade for the 3 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe
no, that's fine. Wait, again, that's fine. You still got an athletic big who can get in front of him. If he can make a 3 over a 7-footer, that's athletic. Good job. But I'm not going to put him in front of somebody that he can shoot over.
Also, just remember you don't have any timeouts, dude.
Yeah, that game deserved another 5 minutes.
Yeah. Hey.
Great game, dude.
Oh my goodness.
What a game.
That seemed like a playoff game, didn't it?
It really did.
Like a 2-2 tie in the 7-game series and game.
Yeah, that was a game.
I mean,
Game
first of all, somebody mentioned it in the chat, but like, man, hope Tim Hardaway Jr. is okay. That was a scary thing.
Yo, he got hit in the head twice.
Guy apparently hit his head on the back. They had to get stitches for him. You saw Tim Sr. was there. Tim Sr. went back to the locker room with him.
Went back.
Nico got his nose broken.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Hey, stop giving it a fancy name. They gave it a fancy name on TV.
Yeah, they called it reduced
nasal
septum or something like that.
Yeah, reduced. It means he closed his breathing tube because he squished his nose.
He got turned zigzag.
Yeah. And you know what they do, right? Yeah, they go out there and straighten it.
Oof. So
we got nothing. The nose that's nothing but gristle.
What's more swollen? Nico's nose or Jimmy's ankle?
Man, that nose looked ugly. That nose looked ugly, dude. He got bashed with it.
You know you broke your nose when there's blood.
We'll take a break. Back after this.
WQAM
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you on a hump day. Hey, comedian Tom Segura is bringing his Come Together tour to Hard Rock Live on Thanksgiving Eve. We got your chance to win tickets to see him. Let's keep it our show on details on how you can win. Reacting last night to, just an absolute heartbreaker for the Miami Heat.
Heartbreaker.
They lose 123-121 in overtime. Jalen Duren with a putback or with a alley-oop slam. Boom. Right down the pipe. And Erik Spoelstra calls timeout. Sends Malik Beasley to the free throw line. He hits it. They get the ball back. Game was over. Over. Heat dropped to 4-6. Pistons 5-7 in really just a tremendous game from Tyler Herro that got wasted. Unfortunately,
you know what else?
He was incredible.
Once you realize Cade is taking the ball out,
Yep.
why don't you just put everybody back?
It's still 1.8, so it could have been down and a pass right back to him, like Tobin said.
Oh, okay, but you got 5-on-4, so you're not going to be on him, but you're going to be in the area watching that Ember pass. So all the passes become difficult. You see what I'm saying? To say, oh, he's just going to kick it back.
It was rough. You want to hear Spo on not having Ware in there?
Did we already hear it or?
No, we didn't hear it yet.
Oh, yeah, we can hear it.
Here's Spo.
Yeah, I was going to put some size on the ball, and then we made the change because Cunningham's taking the ball out.
I asked that because did you think the play to the rim was possible and you wanted sort of a backstop there?
No, we just wanted to disrupt it, anything that was going into the field. But with Cunningham taking the ball out, I didn't feel comfortable with Ware, with a pass back to him. I don't think that was really the issue. They caught us on that play. That's unfortunate. But the reality is that it should have just gone double OT.
Yeah, well, it didn't. Damage is done, though, my friend.
And the other thing is that, like, when he says, I was afraid of the pass back, like, you know what that shot's going to look like? You got 1.8 seconds.
It's going to be a heave.
Right. Exactly.
These guys train.
No, but I'm telling you, Vlad, you're assuming that, okay, when he throws it in, that is going to be a good pass there.
He got too cute. Dude.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about making 2 passes in 1.8 seconds and getting up a quality shot. I get they take shots under, but that's what you want.
Schmeathan says
you want a shot under stress. Whatever shot they may get, you gave up a bunny. So while he's saying I didn't want the ball to come back, you're telling me in 1.8 seconds, he's going to pass it to a guy that's covering, that's getting guarded, throw it back to the guy. How about you tell Kel'el, okay, if he passes it in, you make sure you check him and give him, and make a shot.
Well, I just think, look, the thing that has to happen that Erik Spoelstra does have to realize, okay, it's just enough with the nonsense already. Your first round pick has to play. It's stupid that he's not playing more. Like, all right, we're taking baby steps and we've gotten there. Okay, we're a week in or we're 2 weeks in. And then finally, after 2 weeks of Thomas Bryant, you were like, you know what? It's Thomas Bryant. And so you started playing him a little bit off the bench. But he has to play more. That's the facts of it. We've been talking about this since the start of the season. And you're playing Bam Adebayo 40 minutes against 2 mooses in Stewart and Duren. And he's going out there. You're going to wear his ass down by Christmas. He's got to play more. You got to trust him. What are we doing? It's what November basketball is for. Go out there. Let the kid play. Let him blow it. You blew it. You've been doing it for 20 years.
Let the kid play.
Let the kid play.
What
are you doing?
I just think that the worst look in all of that was Terry Rozier trying to guard the guy making the shot. right? And I'm just thinking to myself, I don't care what play is designed. I don't care what people you have in there. I don't care if the guy plays whack-a-mole and gives the guy 2 shots, right? It doesn't matter if he's got size.
Yeah, it's just like, why wouldn't you want to get him ready, Leroy, for a situation?
You know
right?
how I've been
know, but,
complaining
like,
about
why-
this for
like,
years.
Get Kel'el ready to a point. Then, this is crazy. Maybe we get him to a point where we get to significant basketball, should you guys actually get to a record that plays that. Maybe he'll be ready, and you could throw Bam Adebayo on Cade Cunningham. And he can go guard the best guy.
Right.
And then you have Haywood Highsmith, who was a demon yesterday, by the way. God, he was good.
What I can't understand is that what is rule number 1 in all of this? Protect the easy bucket. And so worst case scenario is what happened. And I'm thinking, whoever you have out there, if they have time to inbound it, throw it back to the guy taking it up, and get a quality shot in 1.8 seconds with defense on them, good for them.
Right.
But that ain't going to happen.
But,
I don't care if it's me, you, and Vlad guarding the inbounder and somebody coming over to throw it back to the inbounder. 1.8 seconds, that shot is not going to be easy. But in your efforts to defend the most difficult shot, you gave up the easiest shot.
right. And then even if that happens, okay, it's tied. How do you melt down like that? How does that happen? How do you?
I
how do you short circuit like that?
I think personally, this is just me. I think he said to himself when he got annoyed, I should have had more size in there.
So
How is the smallest guy on the floor guarding a big in that moment? Right? That's
So when you're upset at yourself
you ain't
for
thinking.
making a mistake, and then you double it up by calling a timeout.
Like,
that you didn't
Basically,
have.
if he was playing poker, they would say he's on
Have
tilt.
you ever heard
Oh,
of
he was definitely on tilt.
Leroy?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a basketball coach needing a get back coach?
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Quinn be like, whoa, big fella.
Oh, that Chris was like, I can't help you.
Yeah.
Like he turned around, he's like, I can't help you, man. I can't help you.
Chris Quinn's maybe thinking to himself, maybe he'll get tired of this. I can finally sneak in there, get the head coaching gig.
Oh, look at this. Come on, Tobin. Come on.
man.
You're really upset at Spo, aren't you?
I'm not. Look,
Listen,
he's a
I'm
legend.
upset.
Nobody's denying the man is a legend.
I'm upset. I'm upset at the moment, but I don't have any less faith in.
Yeah, I'm frustrated. Like, you know, it's a frustrating thing, and this has been a really, really tough few weeks of execution late for them because, you know, you think to the Kings game, blew that, the Suns game, right down to the wire. Nuggets game, they showed fight in that. Nuggets kind of kicked their ass. But these games have all been like coin flips for them. And yeah, it's frustrating to be in a spot that they're at right now. It's frustrating to be in a spot right there where they're at right now. And especially I think just, you know, man, you've had some brilliant performances by Herro. He's been incredible.
I also think that when you see this team play the way they have against Minnesota and in Detroit, you're kind of like having an experience, a little peek of how life would be without a certain number 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so used to it, Vlad. Like, it's not like it's not a new concept to me. I'm used to watching Heat games without Jimmy Butler. But
like,
I will say the thing
the
thing that's been great about watching Tyler is the man has completely changed his shot diet and his confidence and somewhat irrational confidence to take crazier shots. Like, they've been wanting him to be this 3-point shooter. Like, they want him to go to Steph range. They want him to take these contested shots. They want him to have this kind of lack of conscience. And he's finally doing it because the thing with Tyler was he was such a pristine shooter all the time, but he'd always give up a contested or a contested three or a dangerous three for a clean 2. And it's like,
So he
now
was playing right.
Yeah, he was playing right, but he was playing conservative. And I think that they're like, you got more talent than to play conservative. And now you're just seeing a menace out there. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a slump at some point, but it doesn't look like it. He looks like one of the best shooters.
Here's what it looks like. It looks like he has so much of a game to go to if parts of it is struggling.
That's right, Leroy. Because I was about to say, even if he does go struggling, one thing I will say, and especially since last season's postseason against the Celtics, his playmaking ability and the way he can get others good shots, because he had 10 assists as well yesterday.
I thought he was playmaking too much in the
think about it. Like when you drop a 40 burger, but you also had 10 dimes, like, yeah, you controlling the game. You're controlling that offense. You were in a rhythm. They had no answers for you.
He was responsible for 60 plus points.
Yeah, he was awesome.
You've been seeing that.
He was awesome. Dade South says, this is why there's a wild heat coyote. Why should we expect anything different from this team? It's completely fair. It's completely fair. You know what it is, Dade South? I never expected to be Spo. Of all the things if anyone's got it to be,
you expected to be Terry stepping out of bounds.
Yeah,
you expected to be,
I'm not used to this. Like, I'm used to the Heat losing heartbreakers, and I'm used to false hope Heat. But I ain't used to the guru. I ain't used to him losing me a game.
Guess what? You're not alone. I think that's what hurts even more.
That's what hurts the most.
It hurts when it's somebody who you least expect to be the reason.
It's like the Dolphins, right? It's like, oh no, not you, Raheem. No,
right. Who ain't getting no carries.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. People were mentioning that. I was like, oh yeah, but because I thought about the catches, but yeah, he got no carries.
No carries.
Get that discipline. Take a break. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Hey, Leroy.
Yes.
Why don't you tell the people what the Miami Heat got coming up and the Great Alonzo Mourning have coming up this weekend?
So, you guys have heard it. Men have to be strong. They have to be tough. But when it comes to our health, we not so much. But we need to be smart, especially if you're over 45, like I am, or older. That's why I want to invite you guys to join Alonzo Mourning and other special guests, including Dan Marino and Ed Jovanovski at the Miami Heat Men's Health Summit on November 16th and learn how to take a proactive approach to your health from some of the country's most renowned health experts. Plus, you can enjoy fun activities, giveaways, raffles for autographed prizes, and more. There's no time to waste. Come and get a health screening like Alonzo Mourning did. It saved his life. It can save yours. It's go time. It's Zo time. Learn more at baptisthealth.net/Zo time. That's baptisthealth.net/ZOTIME.
There you go. Check that on out this weekend, everybody.
Yep, y'all need to, growing up. Now, see, Vlad, who's blurry right now, we have different, backgrounds when it comes to men's health. Because, when you grow up, as a non-intangible, health is, you don't worry about health, right? My dad didn't worry about health. My dad had a crooked knee. He didn't get surgery till he was 65, till he absolutely couldn't use his leg. So just things like that. Get your yearly. You get your yearly. You never know what they're going to find. You may feel healthy. You may have something they catch a little bit early. So that's why you go get these screenings. So
I caught something last night.
Spo.
A broken heart.
Aww. Where do broken hearts go?
I don't know.
Whitney. Is that Whitney?
Miami
Whitney.
Hurricanes dropped to 9th in the college football playoff rankings. Still 4 seed because they're the highest ranked ACC team.
Correct.
It's
a
little confused by that.
Not really.
No, because here's why. Because SMU is 12. If things play out, SMU is gonna play Miami, and then they would actually switch spots.
Right, but whoever wins that ACC championship is going to be one of the automatic 4 seeds.
All I want.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that's the only reason why Miami's 4th right now.
Right,
but it's because they're ranked higher than SMU.
Yeah, but SMU's loss is not about their only loss is to a top 10 team.
Right? No, it's still
It's a strange thing.
But still in the poll. See, here's the thing: the playoff is determined by the polls as of right now until you get a champion. SMU started so low. That's why they haven't really moved up. Miami was already up there, and they just didn't drop as far as SMU. If they would have dropped below SMU would be in that 4th spot unless, they possibly play each other.
Yeah, well, Miami's got that 4th spot, which would currently be the winner of Ohio State, Boise State.
Oof.
Oregon's bye would be the winner of Notre Dame, Tennessee.
Oof.
BYU, they have the bye. The winner in that bracket would be Ole Miss, Penn State. And then Texas would take on the winner of Indiana, Alabama. So sick of Alabama, dude.
I got to tell you, this Indiana team, y'all sleeping on them.
You saw him up close, dude.
I saw him up close.
Streets are saying Michigan wants Rhett Lashley. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
think it's very. Here's the unfortunate part, and I'm almost positive of this, but you can check. But I am almost positive of this. In over 200 years of college football between Michigan and Ohio State, that's the first black coach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The circumstances in which he became the coach were unbelievable. In that they had 15 guys drafted. The quarterback decided to turn pro so late that they didn't have access to all of the top NIL guys or the transfers in the transfer portal.
Right.
So they ended up with Warren. He was in a really bad spot. And for people to not understand that and say, oh, we want another guy, I don't know who could have did a good job with you're playing every game throwing 5 passes.
I think you got to give the guy a year. It's house money
Right.
season.
You got to give him a year to see if he can recruit, to see if he can get some guys, to see if he has, better access to the transfer portal and get a quarterback. But it's unfortunate that the circumstances in which he became the first black coach were not conducive to anyone having success, and we're not getting a good barometer of how good a football coach he is or isn't.
I'm just hopeful that the Canes come back on this thing after this bye week. Like I really wish the game was almost this week
so we could just not have 2 weeks to think about what just happened.
Yeah, man. Well, not only that, and I'm worried about Lowfix. I do think, not that he has a lot of control on the defense, but I think Cam won't allow the locker room to do that. I think he's that kind of a leader.
Here's the problem.
Man,
I'm gonna tell you what the problem is.
Go ahead.
Every team you play from here on out is gonna deflate the football. They are all gonna think that they can run the football until you stop the run consistently. They're gonna cut your opportunities to score an offense in half. So when you used to having 70 plays and then you have 50 plays, those mistakes mean a lot more. And this is what happened at Georgia Tech. And what people need to understand is every team that they play from here on out is going to try to run the football. That's the way football works. You see they have some success, another team has success, and next week, offensively, we had this rule. Every preseason, a team would throw a little BS blitz in there. If you don't stop it in preseason, you're going to see it all year. And so every week the Canes play from here on out, the other team is going to make a conscious effort to run the football. If they have any success, then they're just going to suck the air out of the football. And that's what I'm afraid of. You gave up 200-plus yards rushing. You're a top 5 team. That is unacceptable.
It was brutal. And then even when you put yourself in third downs to get carved up, it was just such a bad performance.
I got one better for you. When they switch quarterbacks when it's 3rd and long.
Oh, my God.
Out of curiosity, what did everybody think was going to happen?
I don't know.
How can they complete 3rd and 15s and 3rd with a guy that's only in the game to throw a pass?
I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about all the blown 4th downs. I'm like, Mara, maybe just take the points. I don't know. Once? Nah. Tough. Points are tough. Go 4th down.
At that time, and here's the thing. At the time, you're always thinking, I'm going to get more opportunities.
Oh, yeah. Well, did he think that
in hindsight, yeah, he probably should have kicked off.
Yeah, when they were having 11-minute drives, maybe you would have thought, hey, you know what? Let's take them when we can get them.
Yeah, well, that's
that's what everybody worries about with him. Can't act like we can't act like we're new. Oh, Mario having questionable decisions. Who would have thought? I don't want to be a negative bastard, by the way. This has overall been an amazing season.
No. You know what? This is not being negative. This is being factual. Like there ain't nothing you said that wasn't true. And so if somebody has a problem with it, see, I live on this side of the, welcome. Come on over. I got a seat for you. I'm going to crack open a beer because I've been over on this side for a long time and I've been called a hater.
What is your side of the street? Like what goes on there? Like responsible stuff?
Maturity.
Yeah, like facts.
I don't like that.
Facts.
I'll catch you guys later.
Truth.
But over here on this side of the fence, we were saying all year, be careful. This is gonna come back to bite you in the ass.
We just needed.
No. And you were like,
Just
stop
like
it.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
I want points.
I do want points.
I just want
No,
points.
I do want
Leroy?
points.
I want points.
Well,
God. Oh, it's so great to have a quarterback. Oh, it's so great
it
to
is
see
good,
them running up and down.
I
the
really
field
thought
and
he was going to
scoring
win the
points.
game. I really did. I didn't think in a million years he'd ever blow that situation.
Wait,
but
at no point in time did you think, here we go again. Why do we keep putting ourselves in this situation? It's going to bite us in the ass.
Having Cam Ward with the chance to win the game, it's like expecting Spo to blow a game with having no timeouts. Like you just don't expect it. I always think he's going to come through.
Yeah, but again, and I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, should you even be in that situation?
Probably not.
Okay.
They've had a lot of those where I was like, we're up 2 scores against Louisville. This shouldn't be even at any point. Bang, bang, game is tied. I'm like, all right. Look, they've lived their entire season making things a lot harder on themselves.
You shouldn't be so shocked.
Tobin, we've told you that. I know Leroy tells you that every time, but we've told you that. You're like, it doesn't matter.
Look, all we need is one thing.
It would always be, it doesn't matter. We'll outscore them.
Look,
they can't stop this offense.
We need a get right Vlad against the Deeks. We got a get right week against the Deeks, and all of a sudden we're back, baby. That's all we need. All right.
You better hope they don't have a solid run game.
No. Well, I mean, I don't know, but I do know this. We just need a get right week against the Deeks.
I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here and say I know about their football team, Wake Forest football team. But I'm telling you right now, they are trying to find a way to construct a run game with guys going in motion and running all over the place. That's going to have the Miami defense standing up and looking.
Aren't there teams that you see, if they make the playoffs, you do not want Miami to face because it'd be a long night?
I mean, we thinking about, you know what? When you said, who would they have to play, the winner of what? Was it Bama or
the Canes matchup?
If they get in the playoffs.
Ohio State. Right now it's Ohio State, BYU.
Okay. So if you play Ohio State.
Oh, I'm sorry, Boise. My bad.
Oh,
Boise. Yeah. So wait. So here's your options.
Genty. Yeah.
A conference that all they do is run the football and be physical up front.
Mm-hmm.
Or a Heisman Trophy candidate that averages 200 yards a game.
We just need to tighten things up. All right? We need to tighten things up. We need to tighten things up. We'll be all right. We just need a tighten up week. I'll tell you, we got a good practice week ahead.
You know what it is?
This ain't a belt. We've
just been
tighten up like this.
We got a chance to reset, refocus, just like Bob says.
We
tighten things up. We have a get right week against the Deeks, and we're right back in this thing.
Tobin. I'm gonna tell you like this. I expect them to win. But my view on this team is big picture, because playing football like this, if you get a quality team with a quality coach that just slow rolls you and tries to take the air out of the football, you're going to be miserable. And so I see how this is playing out. If you play one of these quality teams in the playoff, a team that can run the football, that's physical up front, right? It don't matter how good your quarterback is. He ain't going to be on the field.
He's really good.
Tobin,
he ain't going to be on the field. He
No,
can't score if he's sitting on the bench.
He's going to be out there.
Tobin, hold on.
Okay.
If the Canes can't stop the run,
mm-hmm.
and their secondary is not that good as well.
The secondary worries me more than anything.
So if the secondary worries you,
except for Frederic, he's really turned into something for a true freshman. Come on now.
But if your secondary worries you and your run defense is not good,
we just need to get right week against the Deeks. Talk to me after the Deeks. All right. Take a break. Back after this. Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Headlines brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock, like the Tiguan, the Teos, and the Atlas. Remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. The Miami Heat, they lose in overtime, 123-121 to the Pistons to start off their NBA Cup play, the in-season tournament. Talked a lot about it in the first half. Nikola Jovic, he left the game, broke his nose, it got reset. Tyler Herro had 40 points in the loss. Miami Hurricanes ranked 9th in the college football playoff rankings. They're currently seeded 4th as the highest ACC team. And some Dolphins news. Austin Jackson done for the season. Had a knee surgery, and Mike McDaniel said he is not coming back this year. So the Dolphins starting right tackle is done for the year. Not great. Been talking about that offensive line playing a lot better, although it did not look as good this past week. But I tell you what, that Rams team looks very talented on the defensive side of the football.
On the defensive front, yeah.
I
just think you need to have, I want to say, 7 quality offensive linemen. Hopefully you have like a couple of vets, a couple of young guys, and then 2 guys you're grooming to take over. And I think the way this offensive line has worked the last couple of years, you may have had that plan, but then the way guys get hurt and how quick it forces you to move a lot of guys around. So it's not unique to the Dolphins as to why they may have guys out of position. It's just the nature of the sport that, with offensive line, you might have 8 to 10 guys in the room, only 7 or 8 of them you expect to play, and then sometimes you got to go to 9 or 10.
Yeah, I mean, like it'll likely be Kendall Lamb, I would assume. I mean, maybe with the full week of them knowing, maybe they'll start getting more comfortable putting Patrick Paul on that side. He's typically a left tackle. He was in for some snaps though, which was kind of weird.
Let me explain something to you.
Go for it.
It is like trying to be a switch hitter when you've only batted right-handed. Everything is the other way. With the foot you put back, the hand you put down, it's literally trying to be left-handed or right-handed. So it's not as easy as you make it sound to just take a guy who's played most of his career on the left and move him over to the right. There have been guys, usually a lot of left tackles in college, they'll bring in and play at right tackle, but they groom him or he's done it. If you've never done it, to move a guy from the left side to the right side is a very difficult thing. So it's not something as easy as I'm going to just play him at right tackle, even though he might be one of your top 6 offensive linemen.
Best switch hitter of all time?
Who? To me?
Yeah.
For me, I witnessed something that's never been done. So I would say Carlos Baerga.
Oh.
And the reason why I say that, I was at a game where he had a home run from the left side of the plate and a home run from the right side of the plate in the same inning.
Yeah, you forget about a guy named Mickey Mantle, huh? Okay.
Oh, Mickey Mantle was a switch hitter?
He was.
Yeah.
Okay, then I would go Mickey Mantle. I'm just saying, for me, like, and I preface it by saying it's somebody I saw.
You did see Eddie Murray.
True. And
probably best to
wait. I have something. I have an autographed ball of 2 500 home run guys that played on the same team.
Who's the best current switch hitter right now?
And let's not forget the guy who just recently passed that, the all-time hit king, Pete Rose.
Yep, Pete Rose. Best switch hitter in Marlins history, Luis Castillo.
Yeah, but
Different animal from the right side.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Different animal from the right side. That dude, he was a wrecking machine hitting righty. Lefty was like kind of a slap hitter. But a good hitter nonetheless. 35 games in a row.
And I got to give Chipper Jones credit as well.
Yeah, Chipper Jones probably. I would say Chipper Jones definitely.
He was probably
Beltran,
the biggest. He was probably the biggest.
The best one
biggest
right
switch
now
hitter. He wasn't small.
The best one right now might be Lindor for the Mets.
Is anybody doing it? Like Lindor,
Lindor.
other than Lindor, like is anybody else doing it? It's not as big a deal as it used to be. I feel
not.
like no kids they don't make switch hitters no more, huh?
Not they just stay in one position, which is weird.
It's you know what? A lot of that has to do with just sports in general because, like, you used to play all the sports as a kid because football was during football season, then came basketball, then came baseball. Now they play one sport all year round.
Baseball's 25 best switch hitters, but this list is from 2012.
Albies for the Braves, he's a switch hitter.
Bobby Bonilla
was a switch hitter. Anthony Santander from the Orioles, he's a good power hitter. But no, yeah,
the art it used to be.
It's not the art that it used to be. That was a good art.
Lance Berkman.
He was a good
switch hitter.
Yeah,
he was a good switch hitter. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Patrick Paul. So you're saying it's a little too hard to get the footwork down?
It's not even that. Just if I came to you right now and said, for the rest of the day you got to write left-handed, and then we're gonna grade you on the weekend. That's what it's like.
My teacher wants
you think about your whole body being opposite, right?
Mrs. Modica in third grade. She said my handwriting was so bad, right-handed. She wanted me to try writing left-handed.
Jeez,
yep.
That didn't sound like a very positive statement.
Nothing shocks me more than like in basketball. Like LeBron's left-handed, but he shoots right.
Tua is right-handed.
Really?
Right-handed.
Wow.
My brother was like that. My brother was left-handed, but he kicked with his right foot and shot right-handed.
It's weird, man.
Just weird. Left-handers in general have a different train of thought.
Speaking of hands,
left.
Did you see the fight last night in the Panthers game?
Ooh.
I mean, how many was it? Like 72 blows thrown?
Woo-wee! Jonah Gadjovich was getting after it with Brenden Dillon from the Devils. Panthers lose last night. They snapped their win streak. Here was the call last night on the Panthers radio network, the great Doug Plagens.
Here's Bolinskas again. A shot off a body out front. Didn't get through. It's loose. Played off to the far boards. And Nosek pounds it down to the end wall. And the gloves are off. It's going to be Gadjovich and Dillon. Couple of big, tough customers. And Jonah Gadjovich unloading with right hands to Dillon. Right to the mandible. Now the jersey pulled over Gadjovich a little bit. Dillon lets a couple of rights go. These two are just throwing haymakers. Gadjovich continues to rain right hands on Dillon. Gadjovich has had his helmet knocked off. These two continue to throw, and Gadjovich takes him down. Oh, my goodness, he got a hold of him there, and Jonah just kept firing.
They both fired. I don't know if you – those are two tough customers just throwing haymakers. Jonah Gadjovich got his jersey pulled over, and talk about an exhausting fight.
Holy cow, that was about.
You talking that's starting the lawnmower just over and over again and letting it go.
Wow, what a call.
I love Dougie P when he
call,
when
dude.
he calls fights.
He's better than Joe Tess.
Yeah.
Call fight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my haymaker.
That was a great call by Doug Plagens. You got Paul Maurice on the fight afterwards?
I do have Mr. Maurice.
Let's hear from the head coach.
Good. I mean, that's an old schooler. The linesman didn't jump in too early and let two guys hammer away. So Yona's been injured for a while. It might be the best part. He's clearly 100% healthy. And
we know he's good. If he's out there swinging, he's healthy. Oh man,
coaches like that love those type of fights.
My thing is the whole thing that gets lost in that is they're on skates.
I'm like, how do they keep their balance so good?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's orchestrated fighting.
It's really great. All right, we'll take a break. More to come here on the show. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Leroy is gone off to Cleveland. Can you imagine having to talk about that team today? Woo! Woo!
I can't wait for the Jameis Bowl, though. The Browns against the Saints.
Oh. When you said Jameis Bowl, I immediately thought Bucks.
Oh, yeah.
But that makes sense.
But remember the last time we saw Jameis was when he was
Yep.
getting that touchdown for the Saints when the coach told him, don't run the play.
What is Thursday night? Do you know what is Thursday night?
Yes,
this week?
Thursday night's a good one. We got the Commanders versus the Eagles. Battle of the NFC
That
East.
is good. That is last Thursday night's game was crazy.
That was one of the best games of the season.
And it was like such a terrible first half, too. Then things got wild. I was just watching on TV. They got Daniel Cormier up on First Take right now. He's talking John Jones versus Stipe.
You know who he's rooting for.
Oh, he's rooting for Stipe.
Yeah, that's his boy.
Rooting for Stipe all the way.
Yeah,
he hates John Jones' guts. It's
rival.
interesting that he's on the call, though. I mean, he's fought both of those guys. Got a lot. What was he got? He's got 5 fights between both of them, and only 1 win. But
Stipe, right?
Both very good. Yeah, he beat Stipe. He beat Stipe in their first fight. And then was beating him in the second fight. And Stipe just started unloading on his body.
He hit him with a shot.
I mean, he hit him right in that. It's crazy. I mean, honestly, look, I can't even believe that Daniel Cormier ever made 205 pounds. That's impressive enough as it is. Great friend, right up there, because he didn't want to intrude on Cain Velasquez's territory. But this fight is I'm excited about this fight because
how long has it been since JJ fought?
It's been a while. I want to say 2022. I think early part of 22. I think is when he fought Ciryl Gane and won the heavyweight championship. And I mean, he dish ragged him. It was not even close. The guy had come back. It was actually interesting because people have been wanting John Jones to be heavyweight for a very long time. He's one of the most uniquely built athletes out there. And just his like limbs and all that stuff. But he was like 6'4". He's a moose. But it was always like, I'm going to do it when I want to do it. And so he took this 3-year break. It was 23, actually. Sorry. So it hasn't been that long. 23.
Okay.
And he came back. I mean, Ciryl Gane, I mean, he just chewed through him like a buzzsaw. It was insane. And the thing with John is, it's always like if it's a motivated fight and he's really into it, you always get the best of him. He had these couple of fights by the end of his light heavyweight run against Dominic Reyes and Thiago Santos. Very, very close fights. I think a lot of people thought that he lost to Dominic Reyes. Some thought that even Santos got the best of him. But he came back in that heavyweight, and I mean, he did such nasty work to Ciryl Gane. They're like, oh, this dude is back. So he tears his pec. These guys are supposed to fight. He has a pec tear. So that puts him on the shelf for a little bit. Stipe's not. He's like, I'm not fighting anybody. Stipe is 42 years old, and he's a fireman. He's like, call me when John Jones is ready. So he had no interest in fighting in the UFC till this fight had happened. But Stipe is regarded as the best heavyweight of all time, while John Jones is regarded as the best fighter of all time. And it's an interesting thing because heavyweight is such a different animal in the UFC because longevity is just not your friend. The Stipe has the most defenses ever at 3. Like it's just such a crapshoot with those small gloves, the size that these guys are, to just expect, oh, you're going to have this long, crazy run like an Anderson Silva or a George St. Pierre or a John Jones. So.
And when was Stipe's last fight?
Man, when was Stipe fought even less recently than John?
Because, yeah, if you're saying that he's a fireman and he's 42 and he's not fighting anyone other than John Jones, then
his last fight was in March of 21. He lost to, he lost to Francis Ngannou.
Oh, that's right.
And that was his last fight. So he's entering the cage now.
3 years off.
3 years off. 3+ years off. And that was a nasty loss. It was a nasty loss. But and I don't know what to make of how is it being out of the skill set that much, because I've always wondered with John, if you're not a one-punch knockout artist, who's really going to have a shot against him. And with Stipe, he can definitely knock you out, but he's more of a box your socks off, and then he'll find the finishing move somewhere along the way. It's a tough ask to say, hey, go in there and start winning a decision over John Jones. I don't know about that, dude.
But Stipe also is susceptible to get hit as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if John hits him, it could be night for Stipe.
Could be if he hits him with like, especially like a knee or an elbow or something like that. Like the one thing that's weird about John, as perfect a fighter as he is, he does not have like these devastating hands. It's always been like he'll usually get you on the ground and he'll finish you out that way.
Yes,
devastating limbs. He could do the spin, the spin move off the spinning elbow off the cage. That's probably his feature. But the thing that's interesting about this is like, and I kind of get the annoyance from John here is you have a fight against Stipe. This is one of the true, real legacy fights the UFC can have. Like you have two guys who have actually crossed over eras here, are now in this new era of UFC where you have all these new fans here. People are into Sugar Sean O'Malley and Ilia Topuria and post-COVID fans. It's a different youth of fan base. I don't think they really understand what this guy had done at his age, become the youngest champion, reign the way that he did, have all of the outside the cage stuff. I mean, he's the closest thing they've had to Tyson as far as like outside the cage distractions between suspensions and arrests, drugs and all that type of stuff. And the thing that's crazy about it is he was so good as a wild man.
He's still the best.
Like he's a wild card dude. Like he would fight one of his best fights ever, him versus Gustafsson. The first one where he nearly lost it. He said he didn't train for that fight high on cocaine the entire time.
He looked like it.
I mean, it was crazy. So to see these guys are both fighting on the same weekend, him and Tyson, is kind of an interesting dynamic, even though Tyson's thing is more of a gimmick. This is a very legitimate fight.
2 more days, baby.
I know it is. I will say the quotes from Tyson are goosies, where he's like, I got the devil inside me. And even if my mother was in there, I would wreck her. I was
if a 60-year-old Mike Tyson is still saying that, I'm still scared. I'm crapping my pants.
I don't know, dude. That's it. Listen,
Tobin, you still want to
he's a salesman.
Tobin, let me ask you this. You think you could take a punch from Mike Tyson right now?
In the head? Like
anywhere in the body? Well,
I mean, I'd live. But I don't
think you live?
I think I'd live if I took a body shot, but I don't think the head. No, I think I'd go night.
No, you mean. You think if you took a body shot, you would survive? It's either one.
I think I'd survive.
Then you must have a lot of padding.
I think I'd survive. I'd probably be pissing blood for a while.
You're definitely pissing blood, but I'm just saying, like, this is still Mike, man. Like that power doesn't go away.
Schmeathan says the only devil that Tyson has is osteoporosis. It's not great that he already had it was an ulcer issue. That's not great. That does worry me. It does worry me. But I honestly, this is what I truly think, Vlad. I think the fight is going to be
a gimmick.
I think it's going to be an amazing first minute, and then I think it's going to kind of suck. That's what I think is going to happen. 2-minute rounds though. So mind you, 2-minute rounds.
That's good for Mike.
But big pillow gloves.
That's good for Jake. I don't think if they're fighting regular like Reyes gloves, he's done. I think Mike hits him. He's going to Jake Paul's going to the hospital. I know Mike's 61, and he probably shouldn't be taking an ass.
This has happened before. I remember this happened with Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor, where they wanted him to fight with bigger gloves, and Floyd, crazy like a fox, was like, "We could fight in smaller gloves," and he did that switch very last minute, and it was like, oh, that even picked up even more intrigue to the fight. So I imagine like a Thursday at the weigh-in, they do something like regular gloves for the fight,
extra like a special stipulation.
Yes,
oh man,
like an extra throw on top of it, and I think that gets people even more revved up.
And
about
you know what
fight.
that means? If people get more revved up, that means people put more money into the gambling, because people can be like, oh my God, Mike's going to be fighting regular gloves.
I could see something like that happening at the final press conference, like where they all of a sudden start talking about the gloves, and the gloves go down to a regular size, and then everybody's like, oh, now I can really see Jake Paul get hurt, because that's what everybody wants to see. But I'm excited. Look, this is a Goosey's weekend nonetheless. I can't act like I'm not going to watch. I am going to watch. I'm going to be excited to see Tyson walk out with the towel. It's going to be fantastic. And then you get to watch the GOAT of MMA take on the heavyweight GOAT. I kind of feel like Stipe is going to get his ass kicked, but you can never rule him out. Yeah, I kind of do.
All right. Okay. So, all right. Say John wins, right? Which he's the favorite.
Yep.
What is there left for him to fight? Who is there left for him?
For John?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's 2 guys that everybody wants to see him fight. All right. There's Tom Aspinall, who is the interim heavyweight champion.
Right.
British dude. He's mowing through everybody. Right.
I've seen
but
that.
nobody really knows him
because nobody really wants
and he's a very nice dude. Like he's not it's not natural for him to be a jerk. And I feel, and now this John thing is kind of, it's been interesting. I feel like it's brought that out of him. He's calling him an old man. Nobody cares about you. You're washed. And it's not true because John Jones is the GOAT.
Oh, he's calling John?
Yeah. He had a great thing the other day where he's like, I got a new toy for my dog, and it was a squeaky duck saying he's ducking. Throws it to his dog. Funny stuff.
So he's starting to show a personality
Yes.
that will draw eyes of the public, which will want to see him, especially if he's the good guy who's.
And John's whole thing is he didn't earn it, but he really has. He's beaten everybody at heavyweight. And in fact, Aspinall has said that he wants to fight Pereira at heavyweight. Pereira has said that he wants to go up to heavyweight. He wants to become a 3-belt champion. Never been done before in the history of the sport.
Pereira's ridiculous.
So John the other day comes out, he goes and tells Kevin Iole, and he says that he wants to fight Pereira at heavyweight for the BMF belt. He goes, I don't even care about the heavyweight belt because if I'm fighting Tom Aspinall, it's worthless. So he is very much ducking Tom Aspinall for whatever reason and saying that he wants to fight Pereira because he probably sees Pereira as a more flawed fighter. Tom Aspinall is very well-rounded, and so he's like, that maybe is more of a dangerous fight, and dude has hammers for hands.
So is John doing the classic boxing trick of not wanting to fight the guy that everybody wants to fight immediately, so that you could start seeing a little flaws in his game, and then you can
maybe here's the thing that's interesting, Vlad. He's very clearly the more famous guy right now is Pereira. Everybody knows Pereira. He's probably the UFC's top guy right now outside of John and McGregor, like the new blood guy. He is the scary guy. He walks out there, he knocks everybody out. So he's more famous than Aspinall. So I feel like it's a bigger draw of a fight. But I do think that Aspinall, him ducking him like this, it is what he is doing. And Aspinall,
I don't think John Jones does.
He is. I think he is.
When you're a guy of John Jones' stature,
you can do what you want.
You can do whatever you want. And yes, there are big risks when you fight guys, but you want the reward. So if he sees one fighter as a bigger payoff than the other, I'm gonna go with the big payoff, and then I feel I can win, and then I could add another title that really doesn't exist, but people seem to like the BMF title.
Man, something, dude. I can't wait for this weekend. Should be fun.
Some good fighting.
Also coming up this weekend, I want to let you guys know we've heard it all. Men have to be strong and men have to be tough, but when it comes to our health, we need to be smart, especially if you're 45 years old or older. That's why we want to invite you guys to join Alonzo Mourning and other special guests, including Dan Marino and Ed Jovanovski at the Miami Heat Men's Health Summit on November 16th and learn how you can take a proactive approach on your health from some of the country's most renowned health experts. Plus, you guys can enjoy fun activities, giveaways, raffles for autograph prizes, and a whole lot more. There's no time to waste. Come and get a health screening like Alonzo Mourning did. It saved his life, and it can save yours. It's go time. It's Zotime. Learn more at baptisthealth.net/Zotime. That's baptisthealth.net/ZOTIME. All right. Welcome back, you rascals. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2. I want to let you know about a couple things coming up here. First off, you guys can join WQM in Hollywood from the Joe Rose Show this Sunday at 1 o'clock at the Tamarack Moose Lodge on Rock Island Road in Tamarack, and watch Miami take on Las Vegas in pro football action. You guys can enjoy ice cold beer specials and get yourself entered to win a golf foursome at Jacaranda Golf Club. So check that on out. If you're looking for a place to watch the game, go join Hollywood at the Tamarack Moose Lodge on Rock Island Road in Tamarack. Meanwhile, we got Whiskey Stars and Cigars coming on up. It's almost here. It's presented by WQM and Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. You guys can talk sports with the WQM on-air staff Wednesday, November 20th at Tabacone Cigars and Spirits in Plantation Walk. You guys can enjoy a sample of Aberfeldy 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey and a cigar from Drew Estate. That's Wednesday, November 20th at Tabacone Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. It's presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall, your 2023 Dealer of the Year, and sponsored by the Main Man. There's nobody better to help you flip your biz and cash out big than the Main Man, and by the injury law firm of Cohen and Judah, where a partner handles every single case. Call 866 Fair Fee. What's not fair is the way that he lost last night.
You still hurting, aren't you?
I'm not in a good place.
You know what stinks about that loss? You got to spend the next 2 days in Detroit.
In Detroit, and then
Indy.
Ugh. Yeah, a lot of days off to think about it. I saw Jimmy was with his trainer on Instagram, so that kind of gives me hope that.
So that was a good question.
Might be close.
I was going to ask you that question. He wasn't on the bench. Has he traveled with the team since the
injury?
injury?
Yeah, he's been with the team.
Okay, so
he was in the locker room.
He was in rehab.
Yeah, he was in the locker room when Nico came in after his game winner. So now he's been traveling. He's been posting that he's been at all the places they've been. He hasn't left the team, and I think I don't have any insight on it. I'm just kind of leaning like if he has a full week off, feel like he could maybe make his way back, but you never know with him, his feet. He's very tricky with it. But one guy who's balling is Tyler Herro, and his teammate Bam Adebayo. He believes the All-Star game is in Boy Wonder's future. Here's Bam.
Man, he's having a hell of a year, man, and he deserves that All-Star nod, man. Like, you know, we've been pushing him for the last 3-4 years to get that nod, and it's like the time he's healthy, you know, playing at his own pace, you know, making decisions, making plays. We got to figure this thing out.
Man, he was good. He was really good.
There's not many players that you're starting to become must watch.
Yeah.
That Tyler is starting to become must watch.
Fun, man.
Because that fourth quarter, there's not, like I said, there's not many players that get you excited like this. When they go on a run, you're like, oh my God, like every time he shoots, it feels like fire was
that was
coming
an
out the
impossible
ball.
game for him to put into overtime the way that he did. He was a complete flamethrower.
They were like, what was it? Like they were down 9, I remember, and then all of a sudden, before you could say, like you could say your name, it was like, wait, it's a tie game all of a sudden.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then there was part of me that was worried because of the way that was going for Terry, that when he was driving to the basket, I'm like, he's not gonna go for the 3. Nope, he kicks out to Tyler.
Oh no, I'm happy. I tell you this, the Terry and Tyler combo, you could see that they really it's really coming together. Because I think Terry wanted to fool everybody to think he was gonna take the layup and then immediately look for Tyler. And what I love was the minute that ball hit Tyler's hand, that was going up. Like there was no dribble to move to the spot. It just got into his hands. He released it, and it was nothing but net.
Yeah,
like, those shots were nothing but net.
They were down 9. Isaiah Stewart got that offensive rebound jam, and they were down 111-102. Herro gets to 111-105. Then he gets it to 111-108. They're under a minute left. They get the steal. And Terry Rozier kicks it out to Tyler to tie it at 111.
But when he hit that 3 to make it 111-108, that's when.
And by the way,
he was on fire.
I haven't mentioned it, but he was totally fouled at the end of regulation too. He should have gone to the free throw line. That'll definitely come out in the 2-minute report. Not that anybody cares because we're all soaking over Spo. Tyler was definitely fouled. He should have been going to the free throw line at the end of that game. But It is what it is. It is what it is. Here is Tyler Herro. We all know that it ended in disaster because Erik Spoelstra called timeout. And but Tyler says, that's okay, Spo. I still love you.
I mean, he's supposed to one of the best coaches ever. So I mean, it happens. You know, great players make bad plays. Great coaches. You know, sometimes you made a tough decision. Like I said, it was a intense moment, high emotions on both ends, going back and forth all game. And you know, sometimes you get caught up in that. But I mean, he won us the game last game, and we'll take it. We're riding with Spo no matter what.
Just riding with Spo no matter what. Tough, man. Tough one to sink in for sure.
Plus, you still want to win. Like, you want to win these so you can go to Vegas. Remember, that was your thing. You wanted them to go to the Vegas so they could be together for the NBA Cup to try to win.
I would like them to. I want them to go. And I think that's the thing that's been frustrating. Is like I do think that they're a Heat team. I think they're competing. I think a lot of games last year, man, they just like kind of let go. You could just tell like they weren't into it, right? This Heat team has had fight. They've had fight, and I know nobody wants to hear it because it's been the same core forever. They're 4-6. I'm Wild Heat Coyote, big homer. I get it. I deserve all of that. However, they're just right there, baby. I really feel like a couple things that's going to turn around. All we need to do is just tinker some things. Some guy, I mean, Terry Rozier's got to get it together. He has been building a brick house. But I feel like he's going to go on one of those hot stretches eventually. Kel'el Ware needs to play more. Pella needs to play more. Jaime and Kate had a nice little back and forth in the third quarter yesterday. That was fun to watch.
Nico,
dude. Yeah, we lost Nico in the midst of yesterday. I do like a lot of these pieces. I really do. I like this team.
I'm telling you right now, H2O is he's growing on me right now. Haywood Highsmith.
Oh, what a game he had.
Yeah,
those hands that he has to cause deflections and steals.
He is annoying as a defender. He doesn't hit the ball your hand. He gets the ball. Like when he hits the ball, that ball's coming out of your hands and it's a loose ball. And like you said, you noticed it during the preseason, but they're in the top 5 right now.
I just think
steals.
Tyler playing like this. I know Bam's shooting is going to come around. Bam had moments yesterday. I know people get frustrated with. He deserves it. That's what happens. You're facing the franchise max contract. You deserve the heat. And he definitely had moments where missing the free throws, obviously losing Duren, not catching the lob and putting it down. But he also, I mean, first of all, he had that sick-ass alley-oop that he had from Duncan Robinson. That was crazy. And then he started finding his shot more yesterday. You could see it. Like, he was nailing the fadeaway. He had a 3-ball that he shot with confidence. I'm like, I'm starting to see him come out of the darkness that has been this slump. So we'll see. That being said, I can't believe you did that, Spo. I can't believe you did that, dude. It was ridiculous. Let's get to another coach who sometimes looks bewildered. His name is Mike McDaniel. And Mike McDaniel, he was asked more about Tua throwing his head in there like a battering ram after throwing a pick. Here was Mike McDaniel speaking to the media on Tuesday.
Yeah. I didn't waste much time saying something to him. He can't just think about his ability to stay healthy when he has the ball. It's also when you're trying to make a tackle, and I told him not to close his eyes next time. But yeah, I think he could also prevent that from occurring by avoiding throwing it to the other team, which he knows as well. So I think there's always things to improve upon and learn from, and he definitely had a learning moment there.
Yeah, it was scary. He needs to get that together. Ridiculous. A little bit more from Mike McDaniel. His guy Raheem Mostert didn't get any carries this last game. Of course, we were coming off a game where Raheem Mostert was old Butterfingers. He's done that 2 out of the last 3 games. Now, it was funny. This is not something that really dawned on me after the game. 1, I think I was just happy that they were out of the losing streak. And 2, Tua had that sick-ass throw to him where he rolled out and did the spin move. So I didn't really consider, Raheem Mostert didn't get any carries, but he didn't get any carries. And here was Mike McDaniel explaining why 31 didn't tote the rock.
No, I think we have a very talented backfield, and we're manipulating game plans week in, week out for a multitude of reasons. I feel very confident with entrusting Raheem with our possession with the football, and he'll have plenty of plays that he'll make the rest of the season. The particular usage this past game was unique to the game plan, and we're and that's kind of the case when you have one football and multiple talented running backs that all contribute in various ways. It's still the leader of that room, and we'll be counting on him all season for us to get where we want to go.
So he took nearly a minute just to say I don't trust him anymore with the
pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty
much.
That's
That was
much
just
what
a
he
minute
said.
of him just saying
pretty much.
Or
he gave him a diss. He's like, listen, I'm not giving you the rock until I feel. Now look, Raheem may look at the running backs. He's like, oh, you guys you have Devon Achane 12 carries, 37 yards, and Jalen Wright 5 carries, 3 yards. Maybe enough. A little. I've learned my lesson. Let's get to it. Like we've made our point here. We've made our point. Hello, Leroy.
What's up, guys?
Of course, Leroy would come right when you're about to play this.
You know what?
To play
I'll
what?
save it. I'll save
play
it.
what?
We're up against
To
it.
play what?
We got some anti-Aaron Rodgers fodder that's hit the
You see, look at him. Look at him.
He's excited.
Look how excited he is. It's like
Let
your
me just
blue
say,
you just hit him
let me
right
just
now.
say,
Look at him.
y'all just tell me. All I want to hear when the season over with is, you know what? He might have a point.
I told you that, Leroy.
Yeah, I know.
I said that.
I
Come
know.
on.
We'll take a break and we'll bring you that Aaron Rodgers slander coming up next.
Oh, sounds good. Here's the special sweatshirt.
You're on the air, Leroy. It's when he finds something funny on the internet and he doesn't realize we're back. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. You done watching silly videos?
Oh, dude. You get caught in a little rabbit hole. Somebody send you a little Instagram and you just start flashing through them. Oh.
Comedian Tom Segura is going to be bringing his Come Together tour to Hard Rock Live on Thanksgiving Eve. We got your chance to win tickets to see him. Keep listening to our show for details. We'll give those away this hour. I'm not going to make you guys wait the entirety of the program, but let us get to headlines, which are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock, like the Tiguan, the Taos, and the Atlas. And remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. All right, let's get to this. You familiar with Boomer Esiason?
Yes, I am.
He is on our sister station.
I actually played against Boomer.
Oh, yeah.
The last time the Bengals went to the Super Bowl down here. He was the quarterback.
Well, he is the host of the morning show on WFAN. And Boomer Esiason had some thoughts on where Aaron Rodgers has brought the Jets. And it's not good in Boomer's eyes. Here he was.
I hate to say it, man. It's like Aaron Rodgers has completely sucked the air out of the building. And I think so many guys are deferring to who he is in their minds. And in their minds and in my mind, he is a first ballot Hall of Fame player, one of the great quarterbacks when he was in his prime that we have ever seen. But, you know, since he has come here over the last 2 years, every player on this team, I feel like, has deferred everything to him. And the reason I say that is because Russell Wilson said something about Mike Williams yesterday, and it was being reported during the game that when Mike Williams showed up to Pittsburgh, he showed up with such a big smile, and he was so happy, like he was so unencumbered by playing for the Jets and with the Jets and with Aaron Rodgers.
Wow, there you go. And Boomer saying that that Aaron Rodgers. Well, listen, he threw him right under the bus.
I mean, look. Sometimes you get thrown under the bus because you put yourself in that situation, right? And based on how Aaron Rodgers talks and some of the things he says, when he came in, he just made it sound like, oh, yeah, I'm here. It's go time.
That's right.
Okay. And last year he got hurt. And this year, right, with the same players, they're not any good. And so the impact that he was going to make, the impact that they paid him to make, he's not making. And a coach got fired, and they tried to put it on everything else when it's okay. It's okay, like, to understand that maybe we shouldn't have signed 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Okay, because you can't take the anomaly and say our guy's going to be that.
I mean, it happens with talented guys sometimes too. Like you think that they're going to be these.
But
saviors.
here's
like,
what happened. Here's what happened. If the Jets want to blame somebody, don't blame Aaron Rodgers. Blame Tom Brady. Because Tom Brady, Tom Brady had all these people thinking that our guy could do that too.
Mm-hmm.
You see? 40 is the new this.
Although Tom never had a torn Achilles.
No, but I'm just saying. Even with that, even New England didn't think he was going to be what he was in Tampa because he was 40-something years old. And I understand that.
Yeah, but age aside, like I think he's also talking about like the personality thing of him too.
Well, yeah,
that he's just a drag to be around. Like we all now can clearly see that he's washed, but it's also one of these things where there's got to be athletes sometimes that don't realize that that's hit them, right. Or it's that's just a mental. That's got to be a mental drain on everybody.
All the stuff that I have talked about, none of it was about him and what his impact would be in the locker room. Okay. That's what Boomer was hitting at.
Yep.
That he has sucked the life out of that locker room.
How does that make you feel, Vlad?
I don't think he sucked the life out of that locker room. I just think the team sucks. That's it. Basically, that's what it is.
Yeah,
I
but
still think
keep in mind,
I still think he could quarterback the team. I just think he's not the same quarterback that can put everything on his back, on his shoulders to lead a team. Listen. Calm down, bold hand. The talent that the Jets thought that they had was not what was expected to show out, as you can see. So because of that, he had to do more, and when he has to do more, that he's not the same guy. He was not expected to do that. We're just supposed to just more so game manage. Just get the ball to the receivers and their talent and let them do what they do.
He can't do that.
But they can't do that. Why is that? Offensive line is not good. The team was just not good. They're talented, but they're just not good. And I'm not blaming it on him. It didn't matter if they fired the coach, because if Robert Saleh was there, it's the same BS would still be happening.
Really, it was a pointless firing.
It didn't matter if it was fire him or not. The same results would have happened.
But they did do two things. I think if we just take the Aaron Rodgers being old aside, like they did PR things for him to make it cover up, like that was going to fix it, like firing the coach and like going to get Devontae Adams. And
but those were things that was going to happen. Like Devontae,
but
the Devontae thing was
understood that he wanted to be there, but this was acted like he has him like do the little cameos, sneaky sneaks on Pat McAfee, like it was going to be the fix all.
Well, I mean, everybody loves narratives. Come on, man. I mean, what are you talking about? I mean, the narrative is Tua comes back, he's going to save the Dolphins. And, you've never seen a game against Arizona get so much coverage like that. That's the story.
Arizona's fun. They should get more coverage.
All I know is
that's the coverage. That's the story.
All I know is
the Jets put themselves out there, and if they succeeded, they would be great. But they also left themselves to be criticized if it didn't go well.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem, Vlad. If you average looking, you better have a great personality. And I'm saying that Aaron Rodgers came in there like he was going to be the savior with how he acted, with the demands, with how he was talking. Okay. And then he started playing. And everybody realized you ain't that guy. You was that guy, but you ain't that guy. Not no more. And so what has happened is that everybody in New York did what they had to do to appease Aaron Rodgers in hopes that he was going to be anything close to what could help this team win. And the fact of the matter is he kind of snake oil salesman you. Because
definitely. Well, that's what an ayahuasca user would do.
Well, hold on. Time out.
Wait, Vlad, Vlad, he's not even close to what you thought he was.
But all right, but Leroy, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was saying nobody was asking for 2011, 2012 Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
But you know what? Even that year, that last year that he had at Green Bay, where he wasn't that great, it's still 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
Yeah, but that was Green Bay. Green Bay had a good team.
But they didn't make the playoffs.
Okay.
They didn't make the playoffs that year.
No,
that's the year that the Lions.
Right.
That's when the Lions resurgence started to come. They beat them, knocked them out of the playoffs. But in your mind, if you're as Jets fans and you're looking at with all this talent, and we've been 7-10 with some of the worst quarterback play you've ever seen. Even a 26 touchdown, 12 interception 2022 Aaron Rodgers would be better than the horrible display of quarterback that we've seen.
Yeah,
that's it.
You're leaving all the other variables out of.
What other variables is that? What's that noise?
That your
the darkness.
Isn't that Australia?
Oh, that's
though?
the ayahuasca. That's the ayahuasca noise.
I know the darkness.
Hey, but Vlad, here's the other
What are
thing.
you, L. Tobin Hubbard? What is going on here?
But you're making the assumption that your offense and your offensive weapons and your offensive line it was comparable
To what he had.
Green Bay had.
Right. Okay.
But that's not. No, it wasn't because your offensive line gave up more sacks than anybody in the NFL.
But in fairness, too, like again, like not to harp on the off-field stuff, like he also did this song and dance in his last couple years
the
in Green
VP?
Bay too, where not even just the VP thing. I'm talking about like he would do this whole thing. Was I gonna retire randomly? Am I gonna go host Jeopardy? Then he's like, I'll show for the last season. He was mad because they drafted Jordan Love, even though he wasn't as much of a jerk to Jordan Love as Brett Favre was to him. Like, it was a whole thing with him there, too. And so to think that baggage, which, yeah, New York media is going to echo that stuff a lot more than Green Bay does, was going to put you in a worse position because that stuff is going to be blasted a lot more if you're not the same guy.
Here's the thing I hate. All the things that I said about Aaron Rodgers, right? Before he got here, before he got to New York, had nothing to do with what I think about his career. It has to do with me thinking of what his career going to look like when he's 40. And that was my whole point. But it ended up being I hate Aaron Rodgers. And for other people to just think that Aaron Rodgers was going to be your savior, and then after Achilles still think that at 40, like, yeah, I just think that was ridiculous. We can deal with all the other stuff if he's performing. We dealt with crazy Aaron Rodgers for years because he was balling. Now he's doing that stuff and he ain't playing well, and the team's not playing well. And to be honest with you, nobody want to deal with it.
And the old get crazier. Take a break. Back after this. All right, welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy. Well, I'll let you guys know again, you guys can join WQM in Hollywood for the Joe Rose Show this Sunday at 1 p.m. at the Tamarack Moose Lodge on Rock Island Road in Tamarack to watch Miami take on Las Vegas in pro football action.
Hey, you figure instead of a head of a moose, they have Joe Rose big ass head on the wall
With antlers, though. With antlers.
with antlers.
Dog with antlers. Hit you with a dog there.
Enjoy ice cold beer specials and get yourself entered to win a golf foursome at the Jacaranda Golf Club in Plantation. Ladies and gentlemen, check that out. Leroy, can you get a weather update from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm? YourAccessAttorneys.com. Free consultation 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
Quite breezy out there today. These winds look like they are 20 plus miles an hour. My trees are in distress right now. It is mostly cloudy by me. Winds look like they're coming out of the east. And again, it's 20 plus. And I would say temperatures around 85 degrees. It has been warm also. I'm guessing it'll cool off when the wind starts turning and coming out of the north a little bit. The king of the north. The king of the north.
What did you guess?
What?
Temperature?
85?
That's been your go-to of recent.
Well, because usually once you get a run of a little over 80, it's going to be pretty consistent the same day after day until the weather changes.
He's so damn good. It's 84.
Oof.
I'm telling you, dude, don't ever underestimate me golfing in the morning, because I know think about this. I know what I need to wear. I know what I need to bring if there's a chance for rain, right? I got to know what kind of shoes I'm gonna wear if it car paths only. So I'm gonna have to get my walkers. So I'm always prepared for all the conditions. So I can look outside and tell you, if I'm looking, say if I was going golfing and I looked outside, I would know what kind of shots I need to practice, what kind of clothes I need to bring. Do I need to bring my umbrella, or I can leave it in the truck? Do I need to bring some rain pants? So I go through this every day.
Rain pants sound funny.
Rain pants until your ass get wet. and then you got soggy pants for 2 more hours of golf.
I'll tell you who played like rain pants last night.
Who?
Joel Embiid.
Ah, yes. Cat was giving it to him.
He struggled.
That man couldn't catch his breath, man. That man's so out of
He
shape.
always look out of shape, though.
Dude, he had played 26 minutes, Leroy. He had 3 rebounds. He was 2 of 11.
He had 3 rebounds?
3 rebounds.
You're 7 feet. You should get 5 rebounds just naturally.
Right. You should accidentally get 5 to 6.
Oof. You know what's as bad as my Jets are? Philadelphia 76ers could be the New York Jets.
Oh, they're trash.
Of the NBA this season.
Because they keep signing these players that just don't change the outcome of their team whatsoever.
That's why I was laughing at Sam Van Gundy, who was like, Miami's not in the class of Philadelphia. I'm like, you really trust in Philadelphia? Trust Cleveland, trust Orlando, trust any of these other teams. You're going to trust Philadelphia? Why do you guys keep trusting Philadelphia?
Yeah.
And speaking of last night in the NBA, I got to do this because, Frog Boy's not here.
Oh.
Yo, let me tell you this.
Klay.
There's only one person that Steph Curry, I think, in the world respects and understands, if they face each other, that they understand the magnitude. That's LeBron. You understand? Okay. Everybody else, they're beneath them. There's some nastiness between all 3 of them. That if Klay
sick of each other.
Huh?
Sick of each other. You think?
It's got to be, because listen, if you guys happen to go elsewhere, other adventures, right? Yep. I still think Tobin and Leroy are going to hit each other up after working for 7 or nearly 8 years. They're still going to hit each other up and be like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? When you hear Klay hasn't talked to Draymond and Steph ever since they decided to not re-sign him.
Right, and he said he's been locked in.
You're not.
That was the first thing that D Wade and LeBron said after they parted. We still talk to each other. We're still brothers. We love each other. Now, there's definitely
because here's why. Can I tell you maybe why?
Sure. Why is that?
I think Klay left there with the whole idea of they approached Steph with it, and Steph was cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you Klay you looking at it like, so you wanted Draymond and you okay with them not paying me? I can understand why Klay would take that personally.
For sure. I can see that too.
You see what I'm saying? Like, but Draymond, now keep in mind, Klay been struggling the last few years. So
that's what I'm saying. He's been,
that.
And he was hurt for
Right.
2 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So yeah, they went with the guy that they still feel is a still more important piece of whatever that team is, left from that championship team. But
Draymond got more great than Steve Kerr.
Did you think that Steph Curry last night a bit much?
What? Dude, he went D-Wade.
This
is my S. This is my Golden State, pointing to Golden State, holding the.
He screams at the camera.
This is my S. This is my ish. This is my ish. Like, come on, you going D? Like, what are you trying to say? Like, that's your man's. I'm not doing that. If that's my boy, I'm not doing all of that.
Yeah,
man.
I'm not going extra.
I'm not going extra
I'm
hard.
not
Like
going extra.
now you making me, because everybody loves Steph Curry. We all think he's the boy next door. He's such great. But now you're making me really think, oh, you guys, there is beef between you three, or at least between you two, because you were guarding him. That was the other thing. Steph Curry is not a person who's a defender who was looking to defend. He guarded Klay throughout the whole game. When it's Steph Curry, you ask Steph Curry to guard Kyrie Irving. No. I'm good.
But check this out. Steph can do no wrong in this league. And
he's beloved.
He's beloved. Like, I don't know. There ain't nobody that got it like Steph in the NBA. Nobody.
No, like yesterday when you watched the game, you was like, man, how many more times am I going to be able to get a chance to witness this? Because, I mean, what is this? Year 16 for Steph?
He's like legitimately like a rock star. Like, you go and see all these other guys. Yeah, people are loved and LeBron's loved. Giannis gets a lot of it. Dude, nobody is like this guy in the league when he comes to town.
First of all, when he comes to town, you could look him in the eye. That already separates him from everybody else.
He's also like his pregame routine is
his demeanor is just not like anybody else. Like, he's one of the few people that he's an animal on the basketball court, but approachable.
Yeah.
Right. And so everybody gets caught up in that. You can't say there ain't nobody saying nothing bad about, like, even LeBron, as great as he is, he have his critics. Steph ain't got no critics.
That's because Steph looks like your son.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. You can look him in the eye. You can look him in the eye.
That's it. But if Steph was as muscular like Russell Westbrook, nobody would be loving him like that.
Well,
it's just,
but he's not.
Wait.
And every kid wants to play like him.
Wait, Russell Westbrook, his smile is a growl. Right?
I'll tell you else who's approachable, lovable, friendly, great business. That's A&T Dry Cleaners, man. For the best dry cleaning in South Florida, use our friends over at A&T Dry Cleaners. 40 plus years, owned and run Leroy.
That's right. And if you mention Tobin and Leroy, you'll get 25% off your order. That's right. Just mention you heard about A&T Dry Cleaners from Tobin and Leroy, and you'll get 25% off your order. Here's what you do. Give our man Ara a call, 954-610-9383, to ask for pricing. They have a seamstress on site, but you got to call and get a quote. Whether you have, look, that season's coming up. I got them pictures.
Picture
day.
day.
You got the family pictures for the holidays. For y'all that visit church on the big days, that mean Christmas, Easter, you might need your suit taken into something. If you have your prom or any of that, he'll take care of you. Just give him a call at 954-610-9383. He'll give you a quote on the price. Seamstress can do some things same day, but you need to call and check with him. Don't just go over there and bring yourself and say Tobin and Leroy sent you over here and say you could do it today. That's a lie. He gonna call us and we gonna tell you we did not say that. So give him a call, get a quote.
But that would still get you 25% off.
It still gets 25% off. It just be tomorrow.
I would like to know from Ara if he thought that Steph Curry was a bit much last night. I got to find out from him. Do you think, Ara, did you feel Steph Curry was a bit of a show pony last night? And he'd probably be like, not as much as you are. Anyway, though, they've been serving all of Dade, Broward, and Southern Palm Beach counties for over 40 years, guys. As Leroy said, you mentioned our show, 25% off your order. Once you use A&T Dry Cleaners, you'll never want to launder your own clothes again. That number one more time, 954-610-9383. Jennifer joins the show for a little Rattle for Ship next. All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Got some juicy stuff to get to at the top of next hour as we have a former Miami Dolphin ripping the team. So we'll get to that. But first, want to let you guys know Whiskey Stars and Cigars is almost here, everybody. It is almost here. It is coming up next Wednesday. If you guys already RSVP'd, you'll be good to go. Carries over. We got it storm delayed a couple of times. So
Are we sure about this now? Because we're still not out of hurricane season. So
I'm actually kind of scared about that. There's a
don't
storm on the
know.
horizon.
It has been cursed. Now, to be fair, these storms did not hit us directly. There was some bad weather, but storms are storms.
The last one, it wasn't even bad weather. We shut down all the South Florida.
Abundance of caution.
There
But
we
it
go.
it
There's
is
the phrase.
It is presented by WQM and Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. And you guys can come talk sports with us next Wednesday at Tabacon Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. You guys can enjoy a sample of Aberfeldy 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. Love a single malt.
You just like liquor. What are you doing?
You guys will also get a cigar from Drew Estate. That is coming up next Wednesday, November 20th at Tabacon Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. It's presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall, your 2023 Dealer of the Year. Sponsored by the Main Man. There's nobody better to help you flip your biz and cash out big than the Main Man. And brought to you by the injury law firm of Cohen and Judah, where a partner handles every single case. Call them up, 866-FAIR-FEE. One person who always is fair, but she's firm, it's Jennifer. What do you got for us today, JFig, for Rats Off a Ship?
I appreciate that intro very, very much. First, we have the NBA Cup Court's Blue Court. How do we feel about that?
Rats off a ship.
Okay.
Don't like it. It's too blue. I don't like all these courts being wacky colors. A little bit of, trophy, cool. I don't mind doing something different to acknowledge it's a cup game. Dude, it's too much. Remember when we used to get upset with the Color Rush uniforms? This is like that on steroids. It's too much, Leroy.
Wait a minute. Did he have one too?
I know. But it's too much.
No, because you didn't say that with the Heat.
It's red. I didn't really love it though.
No, you never said that.
Blue,
you never said that. Never said that.
It looked like a Smurf died on the court yesterday.
You did say
you never said that. Now all of a sudden you hate it.
You didn't say that. You said
I can't say the other. We only got one strike today.
Please don't do more.
I'm not rats off a ship.
Not rats off a ship.
I may not be a fan of all the courts, but what they have done is made the court special so you know that it's a cup game.
I'm for special, but that is the only way to really do it. If you just put a regular court and put like a cup on it, you're not gonna know. So I appreciate the fact that they went out of their way to let you know cup game. I'm looking at the Celtics court last night. It's green. Ugh.
I'm just saying.
Brutal.
It was a cup game, right?
I mean, I know
That's
it was a
the whole
cup game.
point of it.
I know it's a cup game because they only played on Tuesdays and Fridays.
No, but every Tuesday and Friday game is not a cup game.
Sheesh.
The
JFig, where
Celtics
you're
court
at?
is very trippy.
So
I'm not rats off a ship.
I'm not rats off a ship.
JFig, you like it?
I didn't say I liked it.
I embraced the weird, the change. I don't know. That's just me.
It's just something to signify what that tournament is. So,
And I also really like the memes that are coming out of this. So I'm not rats off a ship.
But couldn't the Heat do something like? Remember when they did the mashup? Like they could make a vice court. Like they could do something like that where it would distinguish it for those games. Like
they could have did it.
Why does it have to be so overbearing?
That's the whole point
Especially
of
on
it.
TV, I would say. But
It's a lot.
That blue court makes it look like European basketball, doesn't it?
Vlad?
Fam, I've been wrapped off a ship in this since last year. I'm Stuart Little off this ship. Let me tell you this, all right? I don't need to see all of this. I had to take a gummy yesterday to enjoy to watch the game because that's the only way you can. It has to be psychedelic or something like that. What kind craziness
Seriously.
is? Put the court back to the way it's supposed to be.
What are they supposed to be swimming?
Hey,
out? It's so blue.
Dude, green
even with
court?
hey,
Who wants to play on a green court?
even with all the color rushes they had, old Scary Terry still couldn't keep his feet on it.
Well, number two, Jennifer.
Wait, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Just out of curiosity, why don't they just make the court a foot wider? Because having these Bigfoot basketball players trying to shoot corner threes, they got to stand on their tippy toes to do it.
Did they do that? Did they do that for the Clippers' new arena? Like, did they figure that out, or it's just still the same?
No, the court's the court.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm saying, why don't they just make the court a foot wider? Because of all these Bigfoot basketball players standing in the corner, they can barely fit their feet in between the 3-point line and the out of bounds anyway.
Yeah, what does Wemby do?
Shoot
Wemby
from
just
the
puts a pinky
corner.
toe out.
You
That's
don't
all he
shoot
can
from the
do.
corner.
No,
But
he doesn't.
don't you think that's crazy that there's a spot on the court? You know what it's like? You ever go play pool at somebody's house and then you lift up the pool cue and it hit the wall?
Yep.
That's what that feels like.
You got that homeroom advantage.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like they couldn't just say, hey, we're gonna make the court a foot wider because, well, it's pretty ridiculous that you can't even stand and shoot a three in the
How about
pool.
everybody was there yesterday, and when poor Tim Hardaway's writhing in pain on the floor, you have 4 towel guys with the smallest towels ever to try and cover
Like
up.
they got like wet naps.
They're like,
Oh, try to cover it up.
they're trying to be
Yeah.
like, you can't see
It's like-
it.
It's like they're using disinfecting wipes.
Like, all right,
Hey,
thanks.
all that being said, towels don't work anyway, as we knew when we went and watched the weigh-in.
That's right.
They were,
Oh, you had a special special
hey,
screen.
Vlad.
there.
So we went to watch the weigh-in. We were broadcasting from the weigh-in, and a guy had to come in the weigh-in. He had to strip down, right? They were holding the towel here, and he was standing over here, butt naked.
Jeez.
We were like,
Of course, that would happen next to you too.
it wasn't next to us.
Well, you
but-
were there.
Like we were like, hey, that towel is not very effective.
It's pretty thin.
Nah, he was just not even standing behind it.
Damage is done.
By the way,
definitely.
breaking news from Shams.
Who's hurt?
They were just updating Greg Popovich's health status. They revealed that he suffered a mild stroke last week.
Damn, Wemby gave him a stroke?
A stroke, dude. And no timeline for his return, but he's expected to make a full recovery. So that's good news for the Popovich
See what the
family.
young did?
Jennifer, what's number 2?
We have Anthony Richardson being back as starting QB.
Flacco did Flacco things.
I mean, I'm not rats off his shit, but it feels like you should give the kid another. He was your number 4 overall pick, although the coach does not seem to like to play him very much. This feels like one of those decisions made by that kook Irsay.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. As long as I've been playing sports, which is pretty much all my life, there's one position that never tapped his head to come out of a game. Okay? Think about that. As long as I've been playing football.
The kicker.
And the quarterback.
Well, the kicker has like 4 snaps a game.
But I'm just saying, you've never seen a
Right.
kicker.
Or the quarterback. Right? So something ain't right there. When he tapped his head, buddy, you're the 4th pick. We don't have another one of you. Right? You got backup running backs, even linemen. I've never seen a lineman do it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
So
your rats off his ship?
No. I think they need to teach him.
Oh,
teach him the ways of the quarterback. That's like the guy only had like 13 starts in college. So what kind of project you think you getting? There's some things that he gonna have to work through. And if you keep folding up shop on him every time he do something that, well, a guy who only started 13 games would do, then that's on you.
Jennifer?
I'm also not routes off a ship here.
All right. Are you glad about this, Vlad? You don't have to play Flacco revenge game?
You know what's gonna happen, right?
What?
He's gonna go off.
Well,
Look like a superstar against my. Only way to do that is against the Jets.
He
He
really
look like
He
a
gonna
superstar.
run for
He
about
can't.
120.
I know he can't throw, but he's gonna do one play where he'll be like at the 10-yard, his own 10-yard line, throw an 80-yard dart. Jets lose 10-7 to the Colts, and then that's it.
You already got the score 10-7.
Already in his mind. He's already predetermined it.
You know what I mean? Like Anthony Richardson, they're like, oh, he's shown that he's grown and
Keep in
matured.
mind, the Jets haven't done well against the run either.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor would go crazy. But I am rats off a ship on him. I don't think he's good. He's too raw. And
Right.
like you
That's
said,
what. But see, here's the deal, Vlad. That's not his fault.
no, it's their fault, but
It's
it's
their
also his
fault.
fault. But it's also he also has to take accountability that
He got to. But they should have got on him and corrected it instead of dismissing him because he's so raw. That's my whole point. Is that coaches and organizations and players are sometimes on two different paths, right? And one doesn't have the patience that the other one may need for a raw player like this. Because if you don't win, that coach is getting graded based on that. They ain't going to say, oh, well, he had a raw quarterback. And so that's why a coach might be quick to change, quarterbacks because he want to win now because he don't want to lose his job.
Give us one more, Jennifer.
Mike Tyson knocking out Jake Paul.
I'm not rats off the ship on that. I'll let you.
I'm not rats off the ship either.
Hey, Vlad just Vlad just say, my turn.
I know nobody wants to be rats off a ship on it, but I'm rats off a ship. I just don't see it happening, dude. I just don't see
I
it
don't know why. I
happening.
feel like you're like fluctuating a lot, Tobin.
I'm 4 years younger than Mike Tyson. And I tried to do some shadow boxing in the pool. And then I start thinking, Mike might get his ass kicked. Mess around with this young fella. Did you see how big Jake Paul looks?
Yeah, he's on the juice of the gills.
Dude. I mean, he wasn't punching a pad. He was punching a giant donut. That's what they had him punching.
Yep.
A giant donut. Because he probably ain't that accurate, and he probably didn't hit the guy in the head.
I did see his brother try and hit mitts once. Didn't go well.
Right.
We
He
do
kept missing the
understand.
mitts.
We do understand that this is, even though he's 61.
Apparently, it could be canceled if Tyson
Mike-
doesn't pass 2 important tests.
Yeah,
Trust me, it ain't getting canceled.
it ain't gonna get canceled.
It
It's
ain't
too much
get
money.
It better not get canceled.
But they might have to sedate him.
Dude, do you understand? How can I put this? He is closer to my arch nemesis than he is to Jake Paul in age.
Who's your arch nemesis?
Well, you know who I say I could kick his ass on all the other.
Oh, Chuck Norris?
Chuck Norris. He's closer in age to Chuck Norris.
Get your head off your body.
My immediate went to Skip Bayless.
I told him, I told him, Vlad, this ain't no joke. You could bring Chuck Norris and all of his friends, and I'll pick up Chuck Norris and beat the hell out of all of them.
Chuck Norris will karate kick you too.
How hard do you think an 80-year-old could kick, Vlad?
We're not doing this again. We're not getting into this right now.
Kick you right back to Texas, Mike.
A former Miami Dolphin kind of ripping the holy hell out of the team. Tell you about it next.
Question, real quick. Is he still playing football?
He is.
Okay.
Back after this. Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Let's get to headlines, huh? It's brought to you here by Doral Volkswagen. Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock like the Tiguan, the Teos, and the Atlas. Remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. So this has been making the rounds on Finn's Twitter, Leroy. You remember Dolphins safety DeShon Elliott? Last year, he's one of their starting safeties. Plays for Pittsburgh now.
Oh,
What?
I said Pittsburgh.
What?
So he's teamed up with Minka.
That's right. That's right. So he was on a podcast with Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey has a podcast from Baltimore. And they used to be teammates in Baltimore, right? So DeShon was talking about how excited he is to face Marlon because the Steelers are playing the Ravens this week. Slugfest. And he had a little comment that he stuck in there. It was pretty biting. This is what DeShon Elliott had to say on Marlon Humphrey's podcast.
So this will be fun. This will be very fun. I haven't been able to play against Baltimore the way I wanted to because last year I played up for a team that was soft as I mean, oh my God, I can't put that on there. That was pretty soft. The guys on the team, but there were some guys who were tough. But like for the majority of the team, there was not mentally tough individuals. So to be on a team with the full team of mentally tough guys going against another mentally tough team and AFC North ball, it's gonna be fun, man. It'll be fun. I can't wait to see Marlon again.
Okay. Soft as bleep. Now it seemed like a little bit of a slippy slip. He didn't mean to get so emotional about it.
Let me explain what happens in sports. Is that any team that you have that has a lot of speed sometimes gets misconstrued with soft.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're so fast and they run offense accordingly.
Right.
But they did lead the league in rushing, which is one.
Well, he was he's a defense. I mean, maybe he's talking about the defense though, because I think he's probably referring to his side of the football.
I want him to go tell Christian Wilkins that.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So, and keep
in
mind,
no credibility though. Like he's
not. But let's think of it this way.
Hear this from Jordan Poyer coming into the year.
Let's think of it this way. Sometimes guys are playing positions where they aren't very good, and you misconstrue that as soft. One of the biggest challenges for this team has been able to find those physical linebackers that, come up and knock the snot out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They haven't had those guys because, their guys are more cover guys. So I get why somebody would say that.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Just based on the scheme of their team. The other thing is keep in mind, the defense as a whole had a problem with the defense that Vic Fangio was running.
They hated it.
Right. And so
mostly guys in the secondary too.
Right. So what role does that play in it?
I don't know. Well, he had a little bit more insight because I thought, that's just a slip. Well, no. He had more to say. He had more to say about his time with the Miami Dolphins. This was DeShon Elliott, their starting safety last year, discussing this on Marlon Humphrey's podcast. And he says there's something wrong with the Miami culture.
These, gritty cities, but then right in the middle, you have Miami. What was it like being in Miami as a worker? And then, it feels like it would be easier going to work in Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Detroit than it might be when Miami's around. Was that a problem for anyone?
I would say it was way easier to do those things in other cities, but in Miami, it's a distraction. I would say that already didn't hang out much as a team because there's so much to do in Miami. So guys were dispersed so much, and everyone thought they were somebody because of the mindset of, oh, I'm in Miami, I can be somebody different, you know. And then we go into that city, and I felt like we were a really good team. And then the injury bug hit us. And then after the injury bug hit us, we played the Titans. When we played Tennessee and lost to Tennessee, you can tell the heart and soul for that team disappeared. We didn't have it anymore. Guys started going out more. Guys started going to the strip clubs throughout the week. Guys started showing up to meetings late. You can just tell, like, the Miami culture is a reason why Miami will never be good. Like, Miami will never be a good football team. And I don't care. They will never be good because of the Miami culture. I think they have great players, but the culture's not going to be there. And I don't care what anyone says. It's true. Yeah. I do love Miami's food.
Oh, well, thanks, DeShon.
You know what?
Wow.
Thanks, dude. First of all,
Jesus.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Thank you. Yes, this beautiful, great city has a lot of distractions, but don't start snitching on your former teammates, telling me that after the Tennessee game, guys decided
They're not his teammates anymore, though. They're not his teammates
but wait
anymore.
a minute. To me, well, where are you, Mr. Leader? Aren't you one of the 52 members of the team? Why can't you speak up and say, hey, guys, you know, after this Tennessee loss, we still got the playoffs. We still got our goal in front of us.
Vlad? What is he supposed to do in that case? He'd be like,
open your mouth,
let's have Bible study tonight, not Tootsie's study?
No. I'm not saying that. But don't start dropping diamonds saying that after the loss to Tennessee, guys decided to go to the strip club a little bit more. Come on, man.
What if it's the truth, though?
I got families, Bree. I got families that don't know that I've been going to the strip club a little bit more than that I used to.
Oh, so you think? I mean, like, you think Javon Holland's worried about the snitching going on?
You're snitching. Excuse me. It's December. Okay, when I'm telling
listen,
so
I think we know he's not talking about Zach Sealer. Zach Sealer, of course, was hunting.
But
or
all
on
I'm
a fan
saying
boat.
is this: if I tell my wife as a player, hey, you know, playoffs are coming, we got to study and put in a little bit more tape, film study, and I'm out tootsies, getting cheeks, thrown at me. I don't need that to be thrown out there. I don't need him to be.
Here's the
What do you
deal.
think of that part, Leroy?
Here's the deal. They was going to the strip clubs before they lost to Tennessee.
That's what I'm saying.
Stop acting like
you said more.
But again,
mucho.
Again, it's funny. It's funny how. Let me give you another example of how this could go. Right? The White House in Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay, they was winning Super Bowls.
That's it. You win a Super Bowl. You can do all the
but nobody was questioning any of that because they was winning.
Yeah, but what happened
when you're losing? See, I give you a perfect example. When we were 3-13, right? Somebody said we got young guys sleeping in the meeting room, and you know what I replied? I ain't never made a mistake on the football field. What's your problem?
Now you see?
Did you go see Boobies the night before?
Yeah.
No.
Well, then you go.
No, I just in general. It's
the best strip club in Cleveland.
I'm in general meetings, me sitting listening to a person talk about stuff that we already do. Right? Is like a tranquilizer gun to me.
I understand, but if you're showing up,
been that way.
Understood, but how many meetings did you show up late for?
None.
Well,
except for the syrup incident.
See, he's got
syrup. Wait, what?
He had to go get. He had
so
to go
I was responsible as a rookie to get like 10 guys breakfast on Saturday morning. But the breakfast, they ain't want it from one place. So I had to go to Friendly's. I had to go to like 3 different breakfast places. So I would get up in the morning, call the order in at like 6:30, go pick it up at like 7:30, put it at they desk or whatever, and get ready. One morning I did it, and Kevin Mack said, "Hey, Rook, I ain't got no syrup for my pancakes."
Might as well not have pancakes.
And I looked up, and I looked, And then everybody turned and looked, and he said, Rook, I ain't got no syrup on my pancakes. So I got up and I drove back and got syrup. When I came in, the head coach was having his meeting, and he fined me $500 for being late. But when I got to my desk, there was $500 at my desk. So it was just a test. You see what I'm saying? Because every rookie gotta, like, you gotta earn your way.
Yeah.
So I
So
passed the test.
this isn't the tale of a rookie though.
No,
Like
it's
this
not.
is a guy who's trying to talk about the demise of a season that went really, really bad. Now, I would say, like, yeah, probably the biggest thing was, yeah, they weren't healthy by the end of last year.
Which he did say.
Which he did throw in there, but he also said guys are starting to show up late. You could just tell the commitment wasn't right there, like the way that it was.
So is that a knock on the players, or is it a knock?
Kind of feels like a knock on
the coaches?
McDaniel.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Right. I would say this, that there's a fine line between being stern and being a player's coach, right?
Yeah.
I would say Denny was a player's coach,
Well, right now he's got,
but he didn't play.
well, these were his coaches the last 3 years: Man Campbell, Mike McDaniel, Tomlin.
Oh, so he's been around.
There's one in there that's going to be a little different than the other two.
Well, I mean, if you're doing a tail of the tape,
yeah, dude,
right. Well, and keep in mind the other two are way more extreme.
Right.
And
One guy-
Dan Campbell does something a certain way, and Mike Tomlin been doing it for 17 years.
But also, Leroy, if you listen to them, when Dan Campbell talks, you understand who's talking. When Mike Tomlin talks, you understand who's talking. When Mike McDaniel talks, you kind of was like, where's he leading us right now? Like, where are we going? Poor Brittany was like, oh, God. Brittany was working with us. He's like,
yeah.
What is he saying? Like,
sorry we have to put you through that, Brittany.
like he's putting me to sleep right now. Like, it's sorry. It was just a simple question about 2 any interceptions, and it was a 1 minute, 37-second diatribe.
Fancy Tickled 305 says, didn't the Vikings have a boat sex party scandal in the 2000s? That was post Leroy.
That was
post Leroy.
That was post Denny.
That was post Denny. Was that scalper?
That was the tight end.
Who was his
Tight
name?
end coach. He was tight end coach, and then Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Mike
old
Tyson was a player's coach.
Oh yeah, he put on the uniform.
Yeah, but Mike Tyson, he was the offensive line coach when I was there.
Wow.
So
That is you gotta admit, for a player, that is quite a contrast from going to Man Campbell to going to Mike.
yeah,
McDaniel.
but I went to from Bill Belichick. Then I had Tad Marchibroda, who was closer to Mike McDaniel. And then I went to who was in Carolina, Dom Capers. And then I went to Denny Green. So I had everybody went about it a certain way. Like when I was in Carolina, they didn't even you couldn't even be loud in the locker room.
Right,
It was
Dom
like you
Capers
could hear a
and
pin
Run
drop in the locker room. Yeah, it was crazy. That's just how they did business there.
Just see, like, how could you just come out there and you're like, never gonna happen? Never? Never's a long time, DeShon. Never?
Well,
He
and
said never.
guess what?
He knows things.
It's easy to say that when you are where you are now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jesus.
I know.
What the hell?
He's
So
savage.
Coaches have a number of ways to do things, right? Like Denny very rarely talked to the players. He empowered the coaches. If he had something to say, he would go through your coach, your position coach. And when he did say something or get mad, you could hear a pin drop because he didn't do it very often.
I kind of want to know more about what DeShon is saying. Is he trying to say that maybe there's coddling of players or something like that?
I think there's for sure coddling of players.
That-
I think
I would say this. that sometimes coaches come in and they build these relationships without setting boundaries of how things are going to be done and demand that they're done a certain way. You can still be a player's coach and do that. Like Dan Campbell cries
Yeah, but he can
after
also
games,
beat
certain
you up.
games, but his players know Dan Campbell is not playing.
Yeah, because
You see what I'm saying?
But yeah, but he's so big. Like when a big man like him cries, you're uncomfortable.
Oh, you're gonna cry.
All right, like if Mike
But
McDaniel would,
I'm just saying there's a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different ways. I mean, what my coach in college, everybody was terrified of, and he was 5'8".
Spoke kind of looked like he was on the verge of tears last night.
Well, it's his own doing.
I know that's terrible.
So if you're Spo, when you go back to the hotel room, because you're spending 3 days in Detroit, which is god awful. I'm sorry, no disrespect to Detroit.
No, they're going to Indiana.
Oh, they got another game with Detroit.
Another game in Indiana.
Okay,
there's 2 games in Indiana.
Indy's the
Not that that's any better. Indianapolis sucks. Let me tell you guys.
Do you go to Louisville? Maybe get some bourbon.
I don't know what
drink,
he does.
Drink that pain away.
Why? That ain't close.
Indy and Kentucky? Yeah, it's not that far.
No.
Indy and Louisville, not that far.
No, there's a whole nother state in between them.
Indy and Louisville is not that far.
Dude, Indianapolis and Louisville is
It's closer than you think.
No.
Take a break. Back after this. Hey, if you guys want to go see Tom Segura, be calling number 3 right now to 305-567-0560. 305-567-0560. You'll win a pair of tickets to see his Come Together tour at Hard Rock Live on Thanksgiving Eve. Right now, caller 3 to 305-567-0560 will win a pair of tickets to see Tom Segura and his Come Together tour at Hard Rock Live on Thanksgiving Eve. Caller 3 to 305-567-0560. You guys can get at us. Miami 560 WQAM on YouTube and Twitch. Dolphins, they're getting ready for the Raiders this week. They suck. Hopefully the Dolphins can keep this ship a-moving.
Hopefully Christian Wilkins don't. Oh, he's out. Keep forgetting.
I believe he's out. Yeah, I believe he is. He had foot surgery and was put on IR, and I don't think he's coming back, Leroy, anytime soon.
All right.
I'll keep an eye on it, though.
No, I would imagine he's not.
But that would scare me if he was.
Oh, my goodness, would it be terrifying?
A wrecking machine, that guy. Let's see. Injuries. Yeah. Christian Wilkins. Nothing new. Doesn't seem like he will be in action.
Think he'll come down to town, or he'll just stay in there?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Pretty wild. Mike McDaniel apparently was asked about the DeShon Elliott's comments, but he declined to respond directly to the remark. Says he's just thinking about this year's team. Well, first time Mike McDaniel has ever a remark about something.
Probably could have used a safety right about now.
Oh, yeah. Especially one that doesn't take out your star pass rusher. I will say, though, that was I did like seeing Javon Holland back in action, him getting a sack, using him on the blitz. That was fun. I like this Anthony Weaver.
Even with all the injuries, he's kept the team pretty solid defensively.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does help that you got the two gargantuans up front.
Man.
That's just swatting things down. And
I can't believe that Calais Campbell's playing this good. I can't believe it. Like, I knew he's good, but especially just like I thought he'd be in like some bit role a little bit. Man.
Well, he's been
killing it.
Maybe what they thought he was going to be is different than what he is because of the injuries.
Perhaps.
But that's,
he's a
that's
monster.
football.
He's a monster.
That's football, though. That's football. Like, yeah, you come in with a role. Sometimes that role has to change. And in the end, you're a football player.
Do you think that when you play this good, but you're at this age, like, do you think it changes like how much you want to keep pushing it? Or do you think like he'll be a go on his own terms type of guy?
It just depends on how you feel after the season. Like I told you, I had probably one of my most productive years, my last year. And my body couldn't get right for the start of the following season.
But what about when you're bigger than everybody else? Like, does that change things? Like when you had giant teammates,
you still have to be able to protect yourself. You have to be able to do certain standard things in order to be able to play. You can't just be big.
He's a giant.
He is a giant.
Terrifying.
There's nothing worse than just imagine Sealer and Calais just batting balls down every other play.
It's got to be infuriating.
Oh.
Infuriating. All the time. But he has been, I think somebody said he's been the best part of the season. He has been. And
then we also realized how good Sealer is.
Yep. Definitely was great to get him back. Definitely felt like the defense played better with him back. Shocking. I don't mean that at all. I love Zach Sealer.
I know.
Now that he's got his visor, he looks like even more of a badass. Now, you know, they did feel, though, like guys were getting banged up in that secondary a little bit even more. I'm like,
I know. Dropping like flies.
Hopefully they can keep that thing strong. Apparently Isaiah Wynn, Mike McDaniel said, is opening up his practice window, so they may get some more offensive line depth. But he says Kendall Lamb's going to keep that right tackle job as of right now. So that's where the Dolphins are at going into this week.
Are we shocked that our guy hasn't gotten banged up yet this year?
Teron
Armstead?
Yeah. I mean, his only injury was getting poked in the eye. He got a concussion.
Yeah. Would you get poked in the eye with a bat?
I don't know, dude. That's what they said. I don't know how it happened.
Hold on. I could poke you. I could poke you.
What?
I could poke you in your eye with all the force I have in a finger, and I would take an eye out before I gave you a concussion.
Are you sure that's not how it works? You don't know.
Dude, do it to yourself. It's literally impossible to get a concussion and get poked in the eye.
I'm not going to do that to myself.
I get it, man. Look, I'm one of those people that I will swallow.
Man. Vlad's having too much fun today.
Vlad.
Hey, man.
Anytime you say something, I look at Vlad. He's having the time of his life.
Wait,
Can we get some? That Leroy said, "I'm gonna poke you,
pork you."
Oh, pork you.
Pork. He said pork.
And I'm like, what?
Can we get some damn context?
Sure can.
Yeah, sure. On a new job that we're gonna have.
If you're not porking the way you want to be, why don't you try Blue Chew? Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Now you can chew it and do it. Whether you're married, you're looking to spice things up, or you're single, you're trying to impress somebody new, Blue Chew is for you. Your partner wants you to be at your best in the bedroom, and there's no doctor's visits, no going to the pharmacy and waiting in line. Just ships right to your door in a discreet package. And here's a special deal for all our porkers out there, all right? You guys can try Blue Chew for free when you use the promo code SHOWPONY. You use the promo code SHOWPONY at checkout, you're paying just $5 for shipping, but you are getting your first month of Blue Chew for free. So what do you got to wait on, guys? Go to BlueChew.com, use the promo code SHOWPONY, get that first month for free at BlueChew.com. That's BlueChew.com. Welcome back.
Ooh.
Oof. Man. Caught me off guard. False start.
Bingo
Welcome back,
card.
everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take guys up until 2. Hey, if you guys want to win a Dave & Buster's gift card, our Dave & Buster's gift card giveaway is back. We got a $250 gift card that you guys can win to see some football, some Heat, some Panthers, some Canes hoops, and a whole lot more. Go to WQM.com/contest to enter Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch sports at Dave & Buster's in Hollywood. I do feel better after today's program because I was in a dark place. After the Heat loss last night. And I can't even imagine what Spo's going through today. I imagine Erik Spoelstra today is like, I mean, I don't know. I picture him almost in a dark room with an iPad.
You think he's gone to sleep?
No.
Hey, you telling me he hasn't gone to sleep?
No.
He stayed up watching film?
He might go to sleep at like 5 p.m. today. Like the body might just give out. But no, I don't think he's gone to sleep.
I think he's over it.
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, but here's the deal.
When they practice tomorrow, he'll be over it. Today, no practice.
But I'm just saying, I think if you're going to be the guy to tell players to just keep plugging along and keep shooting and keep doing this, then you got to do it too.
Understood.
Okay.
But they also, what do coaches give you?
24 hours.
24 hours. He needs his 24 hours. You think he's watched the video of like himself freaking out?
No, because he didn't even remember when we did the timeouts in front of him.
Okay, dude. You think somebody showed him the Jalen Rose? Somebody's had to show him the Jalen Rose. This is a jokey joke.
Yeah.
Or do you think he won't find that funny?
Or they watched it in the locker room.
Do you think like somebody at practice yesterday at practice tomorrow, they'll put up on the whiteboard, they'll put the Jalen Rose picture?
Nah, too much.
Too much. Don't mess with him. Can you give me one more? Can I hear him one more time, Vlad? Just to hear the just crushed soul that he has after that happened. If you guys missed it yesterday, Heat, Pistons, Heat had a lead. Pistons tied it with 1.8 left. He got spoed basically by JB Bickerstaff and then forgot that he ran out of timeout. So instead of going to double overtime, Pistons got to go to the free throw line, hit some free throws, and that puppy was over. Here was Erik Spoelstra.
Yeah, I mean, they only had 1.8 seconds. We felt like, thought Cade might be in the field. He wasn't in the field. JB just drew up a great play. We didn't have the backside protected. That was just a really well executed play. And then I just made a serious mental error, there at the end. That's on my, that's on me. I feel horrible about it. There's really no excuse for that. I'm 17 years in. We had talked about it in the huddle. I knew that we didn't have anything. I just got emotional and reactive on that, and I just made a horrendous mistake there at the end. It's a shame, because we really fought back. We had some great defensive possessions, hustle possessions, those 50-50 balls, and then Tyler was just sensational. You don't want it to come down to a mental error like that. Yeah, you just would have liked to seen this go double overtime. That's the kind of game it felt like. It deserved to go double OT and not have somebody get in the way of that. And unfortunately, even as a veteran coach, I got in the way of that.
I want to say something. And it's funny that Shmeathan and I both said the same thing. Like, I wanted to say that, and he just put that in the chat. You know how bad and messed up Spoelstra was?
Yeah.
He didn't know the difference between a court and a field. They don't play on a field. They play on a court. That's how discombobulated he was.
Of play.
Huh? What?
I think it's still referred to. I mean, they're called field goals.
It's called court. You don't play on a field in the NBA. You play on a court. Hardwood. Pause.
He does.
Court.
Technicalities here.
A field.
You're quibbling over this.
You don't play basketball on grass. You might be on grass. You might be high, but you don't play on grass. You're not dribbling
Wish
on
that
grass.
it was high. I'd have a better explanation for what happened last night.
Wow, maybe Spo was high. You think? You might have hit the.
Might have been
McDaniel
high as a
vape.
kite, Yogi. I don't
You
know.
might have hit the McDaniel vape, and then
I don't
forgot.
understand what happened. I don't. It's not. This is a man who doesn't make that kind of mistake. He's made. You could question moves within the scheme. We could talk about lines. He's not a coach that I think is without flaw, but he's regarded by his peers as the best.
No,
everybody says it.
This would be like Andy Reid or Bill Belichick calling a timeout with no timeouts.
Yeah, it just is
Yeah,
like
but it's not. The difference is that's not a
You just get a penalty. It's like 15 yards or something like that.
right.
This costs you a point in possession.
Right.
But it was also just like the emotion of it, like he gets upset. We definitely see Erik Spoelstra get upset, but it's typically in those key moments where he's able to keep his cool better than anybody. And to see him unravel like that and blow it because he was so emotional, that's what caused him to forget what he says he already knew.
Right. Let's just get over it.
No. You can't just say it to me and that just makes it happen. You're just like, let's just get over it. Like, this isn't like an argument with Big Spoon. You don't just get to tap out and be like, I'm done with it.
Yeah, that's a hard one. You're not going to sleep after that loss.
Nah, no way, dude. No way. He's probably calling up Chris Quinn in the middle of the night. Chris Quinn's trying to sleep. And he's like, "Oh, are you sleeping, Chris?" He goes, "I thought you were ready."
Well, I needed a timeout. If I was Chris Quinn, I was like,
I don't
well, I
think he's
needed
gonna
a
say that
timeout
to his boss. I don't think he's going to say that to him.
Why not?
I just think it's
What
a
if he
bad
really
move.
did? What if he really did need a timeout?
That's petty.
We've gone over the film. He goes, "We need to go over it again."
What at the fact that you're not supposed to call a timeout when you have no timeouts? How you want to break this
I
down?
think
Like,
Chris
don't
Quinn-
do this.
If Chris Quinn wants to get off the phone, he just goes, "You should have played Kel'el."
You know what?
You would say that.
Yeah, you know what? His brain was going crazy. Like it must have been like F1 race. He wanted to put Ware in. He saw Cade knock
It was
inbound
a
in the ball.
crazy game. I mean, it had a lot of back and forth. There were guys getting their faces busted, their heads busted. I could see you
That's what
losing
it is.
track if, like he said, he hadn't been doing it for nearly 2 decades. Just wild. What the hell happened?
I don't know. He that was definitely like a brain freeze. Just everything. I don't know if I wanted to put him in. I don't know if I want to put him in. Told Terry not to.
I can see that happening to McDaniel, but guys like Paul Maurice and Spo, no.
The problem is that the worst case scenario happened. The
Yeah.
guy that you were gonna replace ended up into one of their tallest athletic guys. If you thought that was gonna happen, that's why you put Kel'el in. Figure it out with tall people.
Maybe Spo needed Scooby last night, just to
Oh, he needs a comfort animal after
He
that
needed
for
a comfort
sure.
animal.
He needs a cuddle.
He's a great cuddler.
You think? Yeah, you think Spo's gonna have one of those emotional support
He
pets
does.
after this?
After last night, yeah, he did. He did.
You know, you're
Oh,
gonna have
yeah.
something like a giraffe.
And by the way, Tyler could talk trash to him for like the next couple of weeks because he ruined one of Tyler's
He did.
greatest
He
games.
did ruin one of Tyler's games. He did. I mean, Tyler's been having an incredible season, and now a game that's one of his all-time best. Up and
Didn't even win.
He could have dropped 50 if he
Yep.
didn't call a timeout.
Could have gone to double OT. Who knows where that goes? It's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate thing. I feel bad for him,
Then why
but
you keep
also,
bringing it up?
well, because mostly I feel bad for me. I feel bad about my emotions in this. That's what I feel bad for.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Will you be sleeping today?
Maybe I'm not gonna lie, JFig. I had trouble with it last night.
I'm
Really?
sorry to
Like,
hear that.
had you
You
tossed
should have
it-
got his Sunny Bunny.
Oh yeah. She doesn't care.
Okay.
She's like, what? Iguana? Thanks. Wait for wait.
So I do have one question about the rule. So if the ball wasn't inbounded and they call a timeout, or it's because
just called.
It's just and the other team gets possession as well. I
It
know.
again, it goes back to the thing. Like if he would have done it like David Blatt, like less demonstrative, probably a ref would have let it go. But because he was so enraged and walked out onto the court and did it, no, they're gonna call that.
He even had chairs in his hand. He was bringing chairs. He was bringing chairs for everybody to sit.
Meeting, dry up.
Yeah.
Oh, it just washes over him. All right. That's our show for today, everybody. We will talk to you rascals tomorrow.